hello. It's me. Hold on. It's me. It's the Jack 7M. OBS broke. Oh, almost. This one. There we go. I'm a genius. When stars smile at moon and a whole look in your eyes, just dialing your number, failing to press the past two. Okay, let me turn down the music a bit so I can talk. Oh, that's not the volume. Whoops. Anyways, welcome to the stream. I'm wearing the broken glasses. So these are gonna fall off my face at some point. Or the others. You can't see it, but I have like a whole pile of junk. Also, the camera... Can I... No, that's better. The camera angle may seem a bit different, and that is because I finally cleaned my desk somewhat. So, I'm actually able to move my computer backwards and put things on the desk. I know that's crazy, but I think that's actually what a desk was invented for. And right here, I have a cup of Coca-Cola Zero sugar, and potato chips. It's right here. Potato chips in a Chinese bowl. So, let's see what the chat has to say. What's up, Unknown Server, and Sarnox, and Light Night Productions, and Equan Animations Beyond Wheat Tubular. Welcome back, everyone that I recognize, which is everyone. You may see earlier in the chat, hold on, hang on. So earlier in the chat, there was a bit of an issue. So, apparently, my notification bell hasn't been working at all because my channel was set to kid-friendly. And I forgot, I actually did do that intentionally at some point. And I thought that I had changed it back, but I guess I didn't. So it should be working now. Now people should be able to click the notification bell. Now I feel stupid because lately I was wondering, why do people not watch my videos that much anymore? Maybe that's the reason, is they don't know it exists. So I'm gonna check back next week and see how like analytics are doing. Maybe they improve. So anyways, I want to say Sarnax. Sarnox says hello. Like Night says epics. Unknown Server. It's still Zit. That's funny. Excuse me for a second. What was it? Okay, sure. I'm going to take this and move backwards a whole lot. Whoops. There we go. This sure is a fun stream. If I go to settings, and channel settings, advanced settings, really? I said it's I want to review the setting for every video. I guess that counts as a yes, so I'll just... It's a bit risky, but there we go. That should work out. I'm not going to turn the music back on. Okay. Why was that loading? Anyways. It's kind of weird. I set this up a different way, so it's actually able to record the top and the bottom bar. I don't know how I feel about that, because you can see all of my tabs. But just for this live stream, I'm gonna close this one. I don't need it. Yeah, really, that one. For this live stream, everything over on this side does not matter. Or this. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I don't need it. Oh yeah, that's all. We're doing something very specific today. Let me read the chat first. Bruh, I'm playing Persona 4. Why did you change stream time? Okay. Technically, the stream was supposed to start at 8, and I changed it. Good decision, because now it's 8:30. But... I don't have a defense for that. I don't know, I have the habit of starting the stream... This didn't fall on the ground. I have a habit of starting a stream earlier than I should. So technically, we're not actually going to get into the nitty-gritty, is that what it's called? We're not going to get into the specifics of what we're doing here yet. We are going to do that once it's 9. So that's like 30 minutes from now. So you can go ahead and finish your Persona 4 Let's Play. I'll be over here eating Irish people. Anyways, now as I'm gonna continue finishing the project. Okay. I'm gonna beat Shadow Yosuke again. Jack listening to P3 OST. It's a good OST. And yeah, Shadow Yosuke is like the first boss, isn't it? That's fun. You know what? I'm mad. You know why I'm mad? I didn't realize this until I actually found out about Persona 4 that the concept of there being an alternate version of yourself which represents everything that you dislike about yourself already existed. I didn't know that someone already came up with that concept, so now I have to rewrite Anti-Diamond. But I think it's okay because Anti-Diamond does have his own characters separate. Separate than just being typical antagonist. Even though that is what he is, but that's kind of part of his character because Jakku is a typical protagonist. That doesn't matter because we're not even in that part of the story. Anyways. Yeah, P3 is my fave. I know, I heard you say that before. But the answer is terrible. I finally finished it. I finally finished the answer. Was it worth it? I can't answer that question. Anyways, I'm just working on my comic. Nice! That's almost kind of related to what I'm doing in this live stream, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm playing NG plus P4. I don't know what NG means. Oh, New Game Plus. Ah. I'm smart. I'm very smart. Imagine using Narukami's Persona in Persona 5, the Royal. Imagine owning a PlayStation 4. I'm just working on my comic. Bass drop. That wasn't really bass drop, but it's close enough. For now... Wait. What did I title this? Making an anime. Yeah. Jack, I have to rewrite Anti-Jakku because P4, me writing real life extra arc. First time? It's definitely not the first time, actually. The entirety of Jakku's character had to be rewritten several times, as well as his powers. So, not first time, it's just sadly common. This is why having this real life power that I have, which is to binge watch really fast, is so good. Because I can watch so much stuff, not only being able to learn from it, like morals and themes and whatnot. Whatever, like writing stuff, writing styles, art styles, animation. I can learn that as well just from watching it and analyzing it. Not only that, but I can pinpoint what's already been done so I can stay original. And a parody. So, I'm so hungry, I don't know why. What do you want? Yeet! Anyways, Jacko got rewrite more times than the amount of times Subaru dies. I mean, probably not that many times, but somewhere around there. Hello, Executor. Jack could be the P6 navigator. If I'm not in P6 or referenced in P6, I'm just gonna be sad. Like, that's like not being in YouTube Rewind. What kind of YouTuber isn't in YouTube Rewind? Come on now, that's like being a weeb and not being featured in P6. Oh. What? No, I need. No, I need something. Hold on. Okay. Shut up. Japanese. Asian. Yeah. I don't have the subtitles on. I don't have the subtitles on. Okay. Alright. Alright, y'all ready? Oh, it's the full video. Okay, I can deal with that. Please go faster. Get to the... Come on. Okay, moments preceding legendary moments. When does it happen? Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm ready. Oh. Oh. No. What was the context actually? Okay, this obviously isn't the original uploader. Oh, the full video. We're going off on a tangent. I'm sorry? Oh. I don't care. So someone died? I don't know. Akasaka. Oh, it's a... Okay, that's Korean, but, like, that's not... I think that's Chinese. That's... Wait, no. Okay, that's Chinese, that's Japanese, I think. I think that's back to Japanese, yeah. Okay, Japanese. And that's Korean. Okay, I'm confused. Maybe it's just generally Asian. Hello. Okay, well, that's obviously... okay, that's all Korean. And there's like a part of it that's Japanese, and I don't get that. But Japanese here... Could be Chinese or Japanese. I know they share some letters, and I think that's the same. So, they just... They pull this dude out without even asking first if he's okay with it. And then he starts, you know, doing the pufferfish thing. He looks scared. This is... What's the context? What are they gonna do? Oh, what? The puffer... They killed him. Ah, no! That's sad. I thought he was just, like, a bunch of pets that they were keeping. I didn't why were they feeding him carrots then? Why would you go through the time of nurturing him if you're just gonna kill him? That's so sad. Okay, enough of that. That's just, I wanted to make a stupid meme and I just got sad. didn't know that he died. I thought they were just messing around with him. Jack's confidant. Jack's confidant bonus would be the ability to binge watch fast and get better analysis. That's the only. I have nostril problems. That's the only. Okay. Try to get cleared out. Let me drink something real quick. Sorry, I had like, what's that called? Mucus, like in my nose, and it's getting in the way of talking. See, that's my only problem, is I can't read very well, so I can't read subtitles, so sometimes I misinterpret situations. Like, okay. I just recently finished watching Blood Blockade Battlefront, and the character White, she jokingly said that she was a ghost. And because of the nature of the show, I took that literally for like half of the entire season. And then it suddenly occurred to me, wait, was she just joking when she said that? Because I think there was a huge part where I just gapped. It just gapped in my memory. Because I realized, why would she be staying in a hospital if she's a ghost? That part didn't make sense. So, anyways. Jack, please get faster. No. The full vid is... Yeah, I realize that now. The carrot is to show how sharp the teeth are. It doesn't matter if he's gonna die. The carrot is to remove the poison from him. Okay, that makes sense. People in China found out that you can remove the toxins from a pufferfish by changing their diet. But can you do it in Minecraft? That's the question. I've saved time to fully join the stream. Cool. Jack has been bamboozled, led astray, and misinterpreted. But don't judge me for my reading pad. I'm almost out of chips, okay? I have the crumbs left, and then I have to get more. But, I think for now that's all I'm gonna eat. I was supposed to eat and drink at the same time. I completely forgot that I have my elf cup with, Coke Zero. Oh. I can't. No, okay. Every time I drink, I have to make the pufferfish noise, in remembrance of him, just to honor the fact that he died. I have to do the sound. Oh. Oh. Please remind me if I forget. If I do that and I forget to do the thing, you guys have to think of a punishment for me, because that's just wrong. Okay. What's the anime gonna be about? Yeah. Okay. See, what time is it? I can probably get to that now. He's got a pro tag. Oh yes, I'm in the world. Zero. Dang it. So this anime. I think I had a stream a while ago titling to something like that, and with that one, it was an anime parody. But with Jarmix, I'm just gonna do that to save my place in the chat. Oh, can we get Pufferfish Chan in Persona 6? Can we get? So, as you may know, I have a webtoon. Webcomic by the name of Odyssey. It was originally called Diamond, but I changed it I'm trying to do the Daft Peanut thing. I've recently gotten into like Daft Peanut videos. Um, Webtoon. So, yeah, let's go to this one. The dashboard. So here's Odd Aesthetic. I'm picture's still pending. I'm not too sure if I want that to be the logo or not, but something along that line. So here is my webcomic, known as Odd Aesthetic. But as of now, it's known as Odd Aesthetic. I really should have changed it earlier, but so basically, this is kind of what I want my future to be kind of like enveloped with. Like when I move out and get older, I want to make this, and I want there to be an anime adaptation similar to how there's another webtoon called Tower of God that recently got an anime adaptation recently, like a month ago or so. It came out with the series and stuff. So I would like that to happen to that. So I thought I should be a little more proactive about it. And not proactive in the sense that I make the actual source first. No, because that takes too long. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create the anime myself. Let that sink in. Okay. I've given myself until the end of 2022. It's hard for me to visualize the number. It's like 2022. I've given myself until that year to be able to make this, so I have about 2, maybe 3 years at most. I will allow myself to delay the project if necessary, but I will try to get it to be done within that time span. And basically, the idea behind it is that it is the first, or what would be the first episode in the anime adaptation, and it is really only going to be able to. It's going to be a pilot, and the idea behind it is that when I get older and am able to pitch this idea to different anime companies, I can show them the pilot as kind of an example of what I was thinking, and then probably around that time I would have a bit more of a fan base to show that there would be people backing this up and that it would be worth creating. And so it's basically, it's a proof of concept is what it is. And it really would, like, I haven't actually gotten to the part where I write it, or at least I haven't. In this webcomic right here, I haven't yet finished the art behind doing. This is taking too long to explain. I haven't gotten to the part where there would be an episode to write. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to go ahead and actually, like, make that part beforehand. But for the time being, before I actually start production on that, I'm going to figure out how to create an anime. And that's what this live stream is for. That was a very long and very okay transition. I'm going to have Missler in part 4, and since Persona 2 have Hitler in the final boss, I was not aware of that. My life could be related to Persona. That's a good idea. I have an idea for an anime, but I can't draw good. That's an issue I used to have. And you know what? I got good at drawing. It's actually interesting. Because I think anyone, really anyone can draw. But it really just depends on if you have, like, good, like... Actually, you could probably be self-taught in drawing, but, what it really depends on is if you know how to. So, as for me, I went to an art class this year, because it was actually the only art class I've ever been to in high school. And in that we had books for it, and in those books it kind of said stuff like anyone can really be an artist. You just have to have like proper training and exercises, which the book provides. I wonder if I have it around here. Actually, that might be useful for this. It actually did help me out in drawing. I didn't find a book, but I did find this book, which may be important later. Oh, here it is. Yep, it's the new. Oh yeah, it's right. The new Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, by Betty Edwards. It's a good book, and you should check it out. Anyways, I had to breathe. Yes, Tower of God. A hope for the webtoon community. Yes, I agree. Lol. Oh yeah, you didn't publish an episode of Mad Science, so no wonder I couldn't read it. Yes, that also happened. I'm waiting for. Okay, on the 30th of this month, which is in like 6 days. That's when they open the contest that webtoon is made for, and then that's when I'm going to upload it, because I don't know the specifics of like, do you upload it before or after the entries, so that's when I'm going to do that. That's why you can't read it yet, is because I haven't uploaded. Nani, Jack's making his own anime. Impossible! It is! And I'm doing it anyways. Awesome. That moment when Jack have better planning skills than you. Not true. I'm working out the planning skills in this live stream. I'm working on a Charmix YTP Charmix is Homicidal 3, and YTP The Wacky and Weird Chronicles of Mentally Unstable Chaladine. But I need to find a way to boost my awful GPU. Well, that sounds like a really good title for YTP. Can't wait to see that. Imagine Mad Science protagonist versus Tomoko. Oh, that's interesting. I have actually thought of ways to like canonically connect the two that way, but like with Tomoko tied in, but working it out in my head, it didn't really make sense. So I don't think I'll find a way. I'll find a way, but that's not important right now. 10 out of 10 speech given by the great Jack. Yes. Developing art skill is like developing up a persona. I'm telling you guys, Persona is basically JoJo. Like, we shouldn't be saying, is that a JoJo reference every time someone breathes? We should be saying, is that a Persona reference every time someone gets better at something? Or, is that a Persona reference because they slept? Or something. Is that a Persona reference? He's wearing a gas mask. Anyone can cook. It's literally just the anyone can cook. Like, I like the next one. Anyone can eat. I mean, hey, not everyone can eat. Don't be ableist. Jack, can you watch Persona 2 Innocent Sin Final Boss? Right now? I don't know. You said it had hit for this. I don't know if I want to do that. If they have good eating skills. I made dry burger yesterday. Disgusting. Tower of God, who over get to the top. Get a wish. Azura in part 6. Alright. Give me an afternoon. Nice. I didn't actually understand a lot of that. I think it's because it wasn't like spaced out. Anyways, is that a Persona reference? Anyways, I'm going to give myself sustenance and come right back and show you my plan of action. are about to watch some Mad Ladry right now. Yes, I opened it with my foot again. What'd I miss? Yeah, watch the PSP reference. They call him Fury Sunglasses. I'll do that later. I said afternoon because in part 3 to 5. That's all I take for someone to usually beat a palace/dungeon. How can I boost my 128 megabyte graphics card so that making YTPs isn't a pain? I don't know. If you find the answer, please tell me. There's never been a point where I made a YTP that wasn't a pain. I think that's Power Director's fault, though. Although I'm pretty sure it's the computer as well. Anyways. Jack, in bathroom. I wasn't in the bathroom. I have food. I didn't get the food out of the bathroom. That's for sure. I wonder if my bond with Reagan could get stronger. It won't. Reagan's dead. Also, hello, Damari Kelly. Okay, hey, Persona 3 to 5. Alright, glad we're all on the right track. Ah! It's 9! Which means the live stream has actually started. Which means that I can learn in the ways of making and let me move this. There we go. Anime! Let's get to this. Okay. So this is by Giguk, which means it's very informative. I've seen this video at some point before. I think he swears. I know he swears in this. Oh look, I liked it. Why is it in this? Why is it just like you gotta do you can't dislike dislike button go down vote. Anyways. CGI, wow, that's funny. So we're gonna watch this anyways. And Giga, if you're watching and you're planning on taking down my channel, I would flip the middle finger, but I'm family friendly.
Okay, so you're saying how you're
Also, can you
one morning watching anime or some shit like the filthy, dirty, disgusting weeb that you are, when suddenly you get this epiphany from Jesus or Buddha or whoever you're worshipping on that day, and they tell you, my child, it is time for you to make your own anime and change the world. And you're like, yes.
Yes,
I
dead
always
meme.
knew it was my destiny to one day make my own anime like the filthy, dirty, disgusting weeb that I am, but upon reflecting on it a little further, you realize you know nothing about anime production, so you don't even know where to start. Well,
Can't
today
hear it.
you're in luck, as here you can learn the basics of what it takes to make your favorite trash show.
Yes!
Without watching Shirobako.
I haven't watched that, so I don't know what that means.
Well, the first obvious step is to be Japanese. Because there's not
Whoa.
an anime if you're white, alright? You're done, mate. Get over it. Alright, so you've hit the jackpot and you have some
Okay.
kind of Japanese heritage.
First off, I am Japanese. You just can't see it behind the glasses. That's the problem.
Congratulations, you can now start pre-production. Now, assuming you
Pre-production.
don't have a spare few $1 million just
Pre-production gang. Pre-production gang. That's what this
flying
is.
around the house, and Uncle Derek isn't going to lend you the odd 100 to 300k to fund your new business venture in Asian cartoon land, because that's like at least 10,000 trips to Nando's, and who would want to sacrifice a spicy, succulent...
First off, I don't know what that is. And second off, I don't need to worry about that. Because I'm not paying for anything. I basically already have the materials I need. As well as... I'm not gonna pay anyone to make it because I'm making it myself. So take that.
and taste of Nando's chicken for
Oh, and also, I should not pause.
slap. No.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. I'm only making one episode. I'm not making the whole series. So I think. My nose. I'm okay.
You'll need to suck some major dick to be part of a committee consisting
Right.
of the production company or anime
That's so
studios
true.
where you can pitch your idea for the next profitable anime.
Sugoi. I think, yeah, I think, again, if I do make this, it's going to make pitching it so much easier because I have the proof of concept. Anyways.
Yep. Did you catch the most important word in that last sentence? That's right. Dick. Oh, sorry. Profitable. Yes, first and foremost, the only thing these guys care about is how much moolah is likely to make. Since
Exactly. So if you just subscribe to Jack Shyamalan right now, this will happen for me. Not the sucking part, I hope.
they'll be the ones fronting the cash for it. Look, I know you have that great new original idea that would make the likes of Madoka, One Punch Man, and Steins Gate shit itself in comparison, but unless your name is Mr. Miyazaki, Shinbo, Maishi, Hosoda, Shinkai, Urobushi, Watanabe-san...
It's such a coincidence. That is my name, actually. I am, I was gonna make a parody. I can't even remember what he said. Like, Watanabe Shibe Kudasai Amasen.
Or a few other select people, no one's going to trust your idea to make a dime. Right, so the anime original route is out of the question, so let's stick with the
Oh,
language
right.
that...
I guess that wouldn't apply to me because this isn't technically anime original. This is based off a webcomic, which we have seen is possible.
Everyone here is guaranteed to understand.
Which, to be fair, again, I'm sorry I'm pausing, but most of the webtoons are Korean. Or, yeah, mostly all webtoons are Korean. So I feel like only a select few would actually be anime because of, like, I don't know the full story, but I know that, like, Koreans and Japanese don't get along well. So, I mean, I don't know, it worked out for Tower of God, so probably a lot of webtoons will end up getting anime adaptations. But I would imagine that the window of opportunity, or whatever it's called, is still wide open for me, at least. Because I would imagine, at least, probably a few of them wouldn't, like, sign up for an anime adaptation or reach out for one anyways. So,
Manga and
Light novels.
these have a pre-existing fan base
making a light novel would have been easier. No, actually, I like drawing better.
they can sell to, and the story is already there. Oh, sorry though, nobody really thinks adapting that original multi-layered deconstruction of mature anime with mature characters is a great idea.
I already did that anyways.
Though, we gotta think simply, yeah? Take words you think are important like character development, depth, story structure, and chuck them out the window. Now, is the main character
Get out of
Jonathan
here,
Blanche
yeet.
who's overpowered in some way so the audience can self-insert themselves into? Great, we're onto something.
Something like that. I insert myself into it, but no one else can.
Does it have enough tits in it? Are there a big
Yes.
enough variety of tits?
Oh, so much. Yes, so much. There's like one lolly, and she only shows up in season 2. Oh, no, there's two. There's two lollies, but one of them's like a minor character. So, as in terms of main characters, there's only one lolly, and she shows up in season 2, so it's fine.
Is every tit attracted to the main character in some
Yes.
way? I don't even care if one of them is a sister. She doesn't even have to
She's Tomoko's basically his sister, is close
be
enough.
related in any way. Make her an adopted second cousin to his estranged aunt or some
Yeah.
shit. But
Yeah.
most
Yep. Very important. They have to be somewhat related.
importantly, is there enough fucking tits in it?
Yes.
No? Congratulations. Now go make the next Kuroko no Gaoi on ice.
That's also... To be fair, Jaku's basically the only main male character until season 2. The robot character doesn't count because he/she is technically genderless, so he kind of fills both roles when he needs to. So there's literally times where like he'll side with the girls just for the sake of being a girl that day, but then on other days he'll side with Jaku because he wants to be a guy that day. But he'll claim that he's neither anyways. So I don't know, it's kind of funny.
It's important you pick source material that is likely to generate sales or has an opportunity to make extra income through merchandising.
I can totally do that because I have very interesting character designs. Or at least I have interesting and simple, so it's probably a lot easier to print than this.
I mean, fuck, those hundreds of naked Rem Dakimakuras aren't gonna sell
Exactly.
themselves.
So we have to have Aurora and Tomoko ones.
Did I mention high school? Oh
Yes.
yeah, pick
Oh.
something in high
I'm not doing that. Well, it's a kind of a dormitory-esque thing. It's a task force. So it's like it's basically high school except they're adults and not in a high school, but they are constantly around each other. So it does have the appeal of being in high school, except replace homework with actual work, and as well as their social life sort of being a little bit more free, but you know.
High
It's
school.
close enough.
Alternatively, if none of this sounds appealing and you do have a shit ton of cash lying around, you can always go to Crunchyroll, son, to introduce you to some anime studio and hope they like your pitch. Hey,
Exactly, and I can do that.
yeah, I've got this great idea about making this anime music video kind of thing that looks really cool and has this touching story about fatherly love and like moving forward from painful memories. Yeah, sorry, man.
A1 A1 Pictures. Guys, we should make an anime adaptation of Persona 5 The Royal. Oh, that's perfect. Should we animate it? No. I was gonna say, I love the way they just move around.
No, we're not really interested. But how's the girl trapped in a virtual reality? Oh my god, let me suck your dick! Alright, so they all settle on some kind of light novel adaptation of a magic harem high school show, complete with a tsundere heroine whose only redeeming quality is that she can suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Not exactly what you were hoping for, but fuck it, it's been approved. Now it's time for you to pick your A team of staff members who will try their hardest to make this not suck. Some important roles.
That's probably gonna be the hardest part, honestly. Finding a team that isn't gonna be bad. That's the hard part, because Odd Aesthetic needs it has a very specific style. Also, I'm barely 3 minutes into this. It has a very specific style that, like, would only work with expressive animation. So, really, my options are limited to anyone who's been in contact with anyone who's done Mob Psycho 100 or One Punch Man Season 2, or even possibly My Hero Academia Season 2 and onward, or just Trigger Studios. Actually, just go with Trigger, honestly. They probably would work better with something like Odd Aesthetic, or Mob Psycho would do good, but like with Trigger specifically, just with their style, their general style, I feel like would work well with something like Odd Aesthetic. That's actually good. I need to remember that. Make trigger it. Okay, cool. Glad I got that. Anyways, I was actually watching a video before about an interview with one of the co-founders as well as the creator of Kill la Kill. So,
Also note at this stage is the director, script supervisor, and character designer. Directors will oversee the entire project and will have the final say in any decision made about the anime. The script supervisor helps plan out the series.
oh yeah, I need to actually learn Japanese in order to actually converse with these people. So that'll be a challenge.
Series composition, which is a fancy way of saying they plan out the basics of what happens in each episode of the anime, or in other words, hey, let's get ready to make everyone lose their fucking heads over episode 3, am I right, lads? And lastly, the character designer's
I
job
mean, I won't be doing episode 3, but yeah!
is to obviously design the characters. Dickheads. Once the basics of the story and designs are mapped out, it's time to write the show. Sometimes one person handles it, and sometimes it's a team of writers working with the script supervisor. But yes, all of this does mean that someone, somewhere, on paper, had to write out such masterpieces as... And then the girl confidently targeted her small-titted opponent with...
Okay, I've seen this anime, or I've seen the first episode of this anime. I laughed so hard when I saw this scene. It's so watch it.
her ass, only to be surprised that her boobs are transformed into a big, bouncy butt, as all that remained of her was but an after image of where her tits once stood. Yeah, man.
Who thought... I want to meet the person who thought that and shake their hand personally. Well, not now because of the COVID-19 thing, but... I want to meet that person and personally thank them for making that exist, because that is amazing that exists. Let's continue.
I think we're definitely on a winner this time. Next up we get to is the storyboarding. This is normally done by the director, locked in a cage being forced to draw storyboards until he either finishes or starves to death. Of course this is just a scene from Shirobako and actual industry standard methods.
Why are there bars? Is he held hostage?
For getting a director to finish their storyboards are far more humane. Probably. The storyboards break down the anime episodes into different cuts. Now exactly what a cut is a bit different.
I have somewhat of a storyboard. So, one thing I was thinking, before I actually make the actual episode, I was thinking I can make a storyboard for the, or I can make just the trailer first, and then work out the actual episode, and then I could use the parts that I used in the trailer for it, which are basically kind of like some of the highlights, but not everything, because you gotta have some parts that are just for that specifically. But I kind of have it all right here. And I'll go over the script of what I came up with. But anyways,
from live action. See, a cut in live action films when you simply cut from one shot to another, like this. Hello! But in anime, a cut refers to a single shot of the imaginary camera, since every new shot requires a new background to be painted along with a new animation movement. Alright, that was a pretty good take. We can cut now.
But replies the downfall time.
Applies been what?
From the storyboards, the layout
I was gonna say, I just noticed that.
of each cut can be created. A layout in
Oh, yeah.
simple terms.
And I have Bristol paper, which according to the cover of it, let me see. Go away. Reddit. Oh my! Please stop. Okay, so I have Bristol paper, which according to the cover says that it's pretty good for not only drawing in pencil, but also inking and scanning it and coloring it in Photoshop, which I don't know how to use Photoshop. I can't even open Photoshop unless I add extensive memory to my computer, then I can use it. But I also don't have an option of scanning, so that's difficult. It's exceedingly difficult. But my plan there is, if I can't figure out how to scan it, I have a printer that supposedly can scan it, but I've used it before and it didn't work. So what I'm thinking is that maybe I can get like a high quality phone or camera and take pictures of it, and then I can roughly, obviously I can transport that into my computer And in Adobe Animate, when I redraw everything and then add in extra frames, I can kind of just position it to how it would normally be if it was scanned. It won't look good, but it'll look somewhat okay. So I think that's my plan for that.
Bugs is a more detailed blueprint than the storyboards, giving the positioning of the cell and the background art that will be needed for each cut. Once that's done, we can move to the...
That's a big thing that I need. I need one of those tables that I can draw, that has the light under it, and then I can draw on top of it, which means I can draw the different keyframes over top of that, and I can see through the paper with that. One idea I had, so I take this monitor, because I have the screen of the computer as well as a monitor hooked up to it. I can take the monitor, put up a picture of just white, and then place paper on top of it and draw over it, which is very unnecessary and might damage the screen, but it could work. Or you also have to deal with the fact that the paper won't stay still, but it'll probably be fine. It's gonna be fine, guys. Let's finish the video first.
The biggest part of anime, the anime.
Yes.
Thing.
God, just fucking kill yourself right now.
Based on the
I will.
storyboard, key animators are given a certain number of cuts where they have to draw the essential frames and distinct position that goes into animating a certain scene. Essentially, they're in charge of the basic structure of animation, and around 20 key animators given different parts can be working on a single episode of anime at a time. Key animators are kind of like the lead guitarists of the animation world, as although the key animators have to follow the movement structure presented in the storyboard, they are given creative freedom in how to express that movement, and some animators have been able to make a name for themselves by instilling their own distinctive style into a scene, essentially stealing the show with bits of really cool segments of animation. This has led to a subset of Japanese animation called Sakuga. And without getting into the nitty-gritty of what Sakuga actually is, as that's a whole other video entirely, suffice to say Sakuga is the animation equivalent to that 15-minute felsmating guitar solo Bobby brought out that one time that made all the chicks sweat and everyone else forgets about the rest of the set he played that night. But if you really want to get noticed as an animator, you know the only piece of animation you need to choose. To make sure the
Yes. High School of the Dead, Konosuba.
Bobbies you hide aren't going fucking mental and share some consistency between their cuts. It's the animation director's job to check that is the case and make any corrections if need be. This is a pretty important role that requires lots of experience.
I think aside from the city, what I'm going to be animating is relatively simple. Like, I won't have to care too much about proportions. Well, for their body, for the different people and their body types. Of course, I'll have to be consistent about that, as well as, where are the eyes on the face and all that. But it's not going to be something like this, where CGI would be a better alternative, because I don't know how to do CGI. So I won't have to worry too much about that. But the city itself will probably be the most difficult thing to draw. I'm thinking just the most difficult thing that throughout this entire project will just be, one, finding the time to do it, as well as trying to draw out all the frames like over and over again. I think my main problem is that I don't have a lot of patience to do animation, but I'm going to try to work through that.
Because for the last fucking time, Bobby, there are character sheets for a reason.
Exactly.
I don't want to express yourself, but you can't cover Stairway to Heaven with a guitar solo from Pink Floyd, and you can't animate this fucking anime if your characters look like a bloody horse. Once the keyframes are done, they are then sent off to the in-betweeners, the bass guitarists of the anime world. I'm sorry, bass guitarist. The in-betweeners do the grunt work and fill in the gaps between each frame to make everything look silky smooth. Or not, apparently. They're given instructions from the key animators for how many frames they need in between. And because of the extent of the grunt work required, a lot of the times this job is outsourced to Korea, China, or Vietnam. Wait, were you trying to tell me that anime isn't completely animated in Japan? That's right, all this time you thought you were watching Japanese anime, but it was Chanime this entire time. I didn't even know what was real anime. Yeah, that definitely sounds Japanese. Hey man, Avatar was animated in Korea, so does that mean it's anime too?
Yes, it does.
This guy's definitely not white. aside though, the in-betweening is normally outsourced to save costs, and saving costs is something anime studios do really well, and they do this using this really new, innovative business strategy called
Not paying your workers.
animators fuck all. Like,
Yeah.
almost fuck all. Now, you may be thinking that this sounds like extortion and borderline.
Yeah, you know what was one of the few exceptions to that? Like an anime studio that doesn't pay their, or as an anime studio that does pay their workers fairly. Kyo Annie, or Kyoto Animation. And their studio burnt down. They just so happened to be the one that was subject to arson. That still hurts me. Anyways.
Slave labor, but you know, after all the frames are done, they can be digitized, cleaned up, and colored in, along with all the backgrounds.
I forgot about coloring. That's gonna be a thing too. I have to shade. No. Oh well. Hey, no.
Mentioned throughout the animation process, background artists have to paint every single background in every single cut. And so everything can be composited together to create a nice little bit of anime. This is also the stage where any special effects or CG can be added to the animation if necessary. And then I said, how about we just make the entire anime in 3D? Ted, that's actually a brilliant idea. No, don't you get it? It was a joke. I was making a joke. It's no joke how great that idea was. Guys, it was a joke. A fucking joke. We're not actually doing this. And once all that is done, all you'll need to do is add all the sound effects, background music, and of course we can't forget the all-important alias voice acting.
I need to... No. Forget that. I'm gonna contact someone. I'll get someone else to make music. I ain't doing that.
You'll need to finish things off.
Alright, just get ready to record after the beat.
I feel like okay, first off, this is too dim. It's not gonna help. Second off, I'm scared as to what's to come. But let's
Okay,
play.
ready?
Yeah? Yeah?
Oh, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I'm there.
Alright, can we try that take again? Just a bit more rapey this time, please.
And that's
I'll be doing a lot of the voice acting, so I think I got that pretty down. No, I'm gonna
it.
try.
You're pretty much done for this episode. Now I just repeat this for 12 to 24 times, throw in a bunch
Nope.
of overworked animators, ungrateful fans, fuck ton of scheduling delays, and you have yourself a full season of anime in your hands. Ready to
Okay.
be
I think I'll make sure that there's a scheduling delay just for a joke. Like to be, hey, it is a real anime. It's delayed.
rushed over and broadcast where it finally belongs. In all seriousness though, I do hope this video has enlightened some of you to how hard it can be to get a decent anime approved, let alone the
Very
talent to know
enlightening.
how to make it good. Despite the amount of mediocrity out there, nobody in Japan is waking up in the morning going, you know what, I want to make some generic piece of shit today. But with the budgeting, timing constraints, not to mention how risky it is to get new and original anime approved in the first place, and the amount of anime that even struggle to make a profit, it's actually kind of a wonder when a golden egg is able to be laid. It's easy to get pessimistic with how hard it is to actually make a decent show, so if you're watching something right now that you really enjoy, don't forget the massive amount of work that went into making it. Maybe throw in a buck or two their way if you really appreciate it, and if there's nothing for you right now, chin up. There's still plenty of people in this industry who want to make something great, so I'm sure you won't have to wait too long.
Did you go try to be educational? What a fucking loser!
Okay. I think that's it. That's just the part. Okay, let's check the chat. That was pretty insightful. Don't tell me the chat. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, Trade Man's here. Alright, give me a sec. Oh my. Do I have to read all that? Oh my. I can't even. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Oh, what? It didn't say my place. Okay, cool. Thank you. Where was I? Oh, there's a hello, Elijah Jones. Odd Aesthetic gonna be the next persona. Heck yes. Jack is fully prepared. Not at all. Diguk, you need to pay someone. Jack, Lamau, no. Lamau moment. I'm not gonna say that. Jack, most webtoonists are Korean. Me, why do I hear blooming villain? You better calm down. I have a roommate that's Korean, okay? He gonna come in here and punch my screen. And it's gonna hurt me and not you, but still. Okay, what's it? Just trooping. And don't think I forgot. Oh, I still remember. Rest in peace, pufferfish. I once thinking of doing light novel for a spin-off, but I lack proficiency and vocabulary. This is so sad. Tomoko is an empress and Aurora is lovers. That makes too much sense. Mr. X is chariot and Jakku is fool. Oh, that makes sense. Why does it make sense? I don't know. I mean, obviously love interest lovers. That's a no-brainer, but empress and chariot. Alright. Giga, pick something in high school. Jack, what do you want from me? Giga, anime needs. Imagine if White Fox adapt. I don't know who that is. Or, I assume that's an anime studio, but I don't know who it is. Yeah, honestly, Jackie was here to call for. Oh, was that... Did White Fox do, ReZero? Yeah, I don't think... Because ReZero is, like, animation stuff. It's alright, but it's not what I want. Because mine's more stylish and cartoony. So I would rather it not be like ReZero's. Because it's a lot more realistic and gritty and all that. Who's Trigger? Oh. So they're the people behind Kill la Kill, and a bunch of others, I forgot the names. There's a new anime that came out recently called BNA, or Brand New Animal. They did that one as well. It's actually very similar to Kill la Kill. But yeah, that's who I... Either them or Bones. Jack, then, I want Bones to adapt Diamond. Jack, no. I want Trigger to adapt Aesthetic. They're technically two different names, so it still makes sense. Hoping you won't skip the comment section. I just got to it. But Jack, if you shake their hand, you might... No, I already solved that. Social distancing link. Dang. Oh, what if that's the plot of P6? That would be funny. Gigak, use the tablet with light. Jack uses his computer screen. Adapt, improve, and overcome. That's what most of this is. Konosuba got good Sakuga. Imagine CGI Jackie. That'd be terrible. You know what? I might do CGI Jackie just for the joke. Bro, I just got here and I don't even know you were live, dude. Did it not? Why? Why YouTube gotta not notify people? I'm also making a new YTP. I'm taking a break from the Doki Doki. YTP with Chad. Just go on Fiverr and get some voice actors like Sea-Dog does. No, you know why? Because that costs money, and I'm definitely not going to make money from this. Because YouTube is never going to pay me, guys. I've already accepted it. It's time you accept it, too. YouTube doesn't pay people. We're slaves. Jack. Ah, that's right. Coloring. I have to shade. No, me. Haha, I know how you feel. Yeah, well, it's kind of weird because the actual comic doesn't have shading. Sorry, I spam here. Please read. I just did. The plot surrounds Chad finding a shed, and chaos ensues. Them sheds. I'm talking about the new lights. Yeah, I figured. I literally studied Persona Arcana to make the Arcana of my characters make sense. White Fox. Okay, it was them that made me zero. Pufferfish. Oh, man, I want more, but we're almost out of Coke Zero, so I'm just gonna have water from that. Well, I better get the taste out of it, because tasting water right after tasting Coke is really weird. Since YouTube doesn't pay us and we're slave, will this be a plot of Persona 5? Kind of. Like... Yeah, a little bit. There is another video that I have to watch. and I think it's longer. Let me try this again, see if that works next time. Right, that was that one. This one is animation and anime. That's something I gotta learn. What are you doing here? Not anymore. Huh. Bye. Anyways, first frame is the Fate series. That's a good idea.
Good animation, bad animation. New, old, digital, cell. Animation is an essential part of anime.
What?
Right.
No fucking way!
When it's bad, it will be
I mean that is literal transition.
forever etched in our minds, no matter how
That's not
good
too
the
bad.
source material may
Okay.
be. But when done right, it can
Hey, that scene.
add so much magic to the anime experience that you just have to sit back
Yeah,
in
see-
awe and wonder, wow,
Let me go back.
so much
for
magic
stuff
to
like
the
that,
anime.
Like, we can take this as an example. Most anime have like this sort of look to it, if that makes sense. Like, say for fire, it's kind of like real fire in a sense. For me, I want the fire of like if in my anime, if there's a scene with fire, I want it to be more like specific, like not having the colors blend into each other, but rather the colors be completely separate and be more jagged and or flowy depending on it, and have thick lines. That's how I want mine to look.
Experience that
And
you just have
Trigger
to
does
sit
that
back in awe and
well.
wonder, wow,
As well as most
how
of
could
them.
anyone achieve such beautiful, fluid imagery? With this video, I wanted to just have a casual, unstructured discussion about animation and anime, how it's evolved over the years, our general perception of it, and where it could possibly go in the future. Now, you may be thinking, Giga, what makes you a qualified authority in animation? Have you studied it, or can you name every animator who worked on every cut in the most
Yeah.
recent episode of Bill and Ted's
Oh, you like animation? Can you name every animator? Oh, you like anime? Can you name every anime? That's this meme before it became a meme.
Shonen Adventures? Unfortunately, no, but I will have you know that I have a pair of working eyes, and more importantly, I am officially certified in one of these.
Oh, degenerate
Let's
anime.
start with a very basic background lesson on animation techniques used in anime, namely
dance
that
though.
of limited animation versus Sakuga. Limited animation comes from a need to save time and money from production, because as we all know in anime, deadlines are tight and budgets are even tighter. If you look at most scenes in an anime series, you will actually see that there is not much movement at all. A lot of the times it's characters being completely static, just moving their mouths, which isn't that hard to pull off. Here, let me show you. Take this frame from No Game No Life. All we want to do is to have Sora say a line, I eat ass. So what we can do to achieve this is we need 3 frames. A closed mouth, a half open
To be fair, that does sound like something he would say at some point.
mouth and an open mouth. So what I can do is I can take some examples from my library of anime mouths, edit them so the lighting fits, key in the frames, and now we can make him talk. I eat ass. Now let's make this shot a bit more dynamic by adding some camera movement and woo! Look at this! I'm an animator now. Look
Yeah, that's something I've noticed is that there are a lot of shots in anime where it's actually just pretty much a still image, except for the part where their mouths are moving. But the fact that like the imaginary camera is moving, it creates almost sort of sometimes it creates depth as well as like makes it feel a lot more alive than if it were a still image. And that's sort of something I found so fascinating. And I'm definitely going to use a lot of scenes like that. Like the opening shot, in the manga, it's just a still image, right? Sorry, the webcomic, it's a still image, but in this anime adaptation, I plan to take that image. I'm possibly gonna like touch up on it, take that image that I have because I made it in Microsoft Paint, and like redraw it in a different thing to make it look nicer, and then as well as like I'll have to make the actual sign flicker because it is a hologram. So I'll do all that, but I'll also have it to where it is a moving very slightly.
Look at this smooth animation. That's right, chums. I don't just talk about
See, and
animation.
it would almost look like just actually an image that's just being slid across the screen. But the fact that his mouth is moving and there's sound with it, it makes it feel like there's actually something going on in the scene, other than just a picture.
Anime, I am anime. On the other end of the spectrum, you have
Hey,
these moments
I invented anime.
or scenes where the animation quality increases dramatically. Everything becomes so much more alive and
Oh,
expressive, and you
yes.
think, oh yeah, that's the money shot, that's the budget. This isn't just smooth, this is jazz smooth. This
Jazz.
isn't just beautiful.
Persona 5.
This is B-E-A beautiful. This isn't just fluid, this is gender fluid. This is called Sakuga. And if you think
Oh,
about
no.
it, the reason it exists makes sense, because with the very limited budgets and production schedule a typical anime series has,
see, there
you
we
want
go.
to focus most...
That's But, this is Trigger right here or Kill la Kill, which is made by Trigger Studios.
your time and money on the important scenes where extra effort and attention is needed, as these are the
Please
parts that
don't.
viewers will remember, and you definitely want to leave a lasting impression. So next time you see one of these scenes, you can now think to yourself, wow.
I'm skipping.
In moments of
Okay.
animation, it may mask the fact that 90% of your show actually looks like crap, a special technique known as the Studio Pierrot Special. The first
Yeah, that's that's most of what I'm gonna do. Is just pretend that I'm good at it.
real question I want to pose is, how do we actually define good animation? Which sounds like a
Animation that doesn't look stupid.
stupid obvious question, but stick with me here. Unlike graphics in video games or CGI in movies, there is not one pinnacle that we are heading towards and can set a benchmark against. We are not aiming
Mob Psycho 100.
for true immersion with photorealistic
Oh, I see.
details. I mean, this is animation. The whole point of animation is that it is not real. Sure, most of the time we can collectively agree which animation looks better. Like, if you watch an average show, let's say All You Need Is a Sister, and you're like, alright, okay, this is adequate, it's not blowing my mind, but it's definitely doing the job it needs to do. And then you pop in Redline and it's just like, wow, Redline, why not buy my eyes dinner first before trying to fuck them? Please. Oh, Redline, okay. Well, my eyes don't normally put out on a first date, but God, you just look so good right now. Okay, well,
Jesus.
now you're just pushing
I might have to check this out.
too hard, and now I'm gonna have to file a sexual assault claim. We can break it down to more frames of animation or more movement and fluidity on screen, but honestly, who's to say that the sensation overload of Redline has gooder animation than the ethereal photorealistic art style of Makoto Shinkai's works, or the
Yeah. I guess it really just depends. Well, not just on the person, but just like in what category. Like, are you trying to make the animation feel immersive and realistic, or are you trying to make the animation non-realistic but just good-looking, like its own thing, like very stylistic? So,
detailed, expressive character animation.
oh
in
yeah, that
Yamada's
as well,
si-
like expression.
silent voice. When we get to animation of this level, it becomes less the concrete metric we can judge against and more the personal bias and interpretation of the viewer watching it. Going
Right.
back to video games, we can look at some graphics and think, wow, I almost can't tell the difference between this and real life. This is jaw-dropping. And in anime, you can look at a cut and say, wow, this is so smooth and realistic. This is jaw-dropping. But is this more impressive than the way Misaki Yuasa warps and distorts to convey an idea with its surrealism? Or am I
Okay, see?
in your face?
Surrealism, that's kind of a good way to say
Ace
it.
louder-than-life, hard-hitting cuts, which is the animation equivalent of 20 Sylvester Stallones kicking you in the nutsack simultaneously. And I know there's more thoughts put into graphics in video games than realism, but please don't make this discussion about that. I was trying to make a point. I think it's important to note that something can be technically well animated, but still look like shit for other reasons. And I don't think there is a better example of this than the Naruto Pain fight. This fight has gone down in infamy as the worst, best
See, I don't even watch Naruto, and I know about the scene.
animated fight that people like to make fun of. You might have seen the still frames floating around with people like, look at this stupid face, isn't this
Yeah, okay, and that's very stupid. Looking at in between frames and being like, ha, it looks stupid. That's because it's in motion. If you were to take a picture of my arm moving right now and see it blurry, you wouldn't say like, haha, his arm looks stupid because it's blurry. No, in animation, that's done on purpose because it's signifying motion, but for this scene that they kind of go a little too far with it, which it is okay to do, but it's like it doesn't work in Naruto.
Such bad animation. Actually,
But
no.
it's not bad animation. It's just misplaced.
Oh. I can freeze frame on a random clip of you talking to make you
Yeah,
look
see?
like an ugly motherfucker trying to suck dick, but that doesn't mean you permanently look like that. Probably. Animation is meant to be judged in motion, and technically
Right.
speaking, this
Right, and one of the 12 principles of animation is squash and stretch. It's supposed to exaggerate. Like, I don't like a lot of the animes that don't do that, that are just, like, okay, I like some anime that try to look realistic, right? But, like, I don't like it when they're so realistic to the point where it's mostly still shots. And, like, which, okay, again, still shots aren't bad. Always, like, there's creative ways to use them, which is what I plan to do. But I don't like it when they go out of their way to, like, design a character intricately, so it's really hard to animate the movements, and thus, like, you get movements like it feels very robotic, whereas, you know, if you exaggerate it, you know, you have the arm extending out and squashing back. That's the squash and stretch part. That's part of the principle, because the fact that it's exaggerated, it's a lot more interesting to look at than just that. So anyways.
fight is very well animated. If we look at an actually badly animated fight like this,
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like a goddamn circus performance. Hey look, it's two stick figures trying ballet. The choreography is awful, there's like 3 frames of animation sometimes. It's so bad that playing You Say Run can't even save it. Fuck! Playing You Say Run doesn't work! What do we do? What the fuck do we do? Then we go back to the pain fight, and everything is so fluid and expressive. I mean, look at this. This is good animation. My problem with it is that it looks fucking stupid. I'm sure the intent was to have the characters walk and distort to emphasize the intense emotions that the characters are feeling, but I think in the process of trying to dial up the intensity to 11, they overshot it by a bit, and by a bit I mean they launched it into the fucking stratosphere. So what we are left with is a wacky, cartoony Looney Tunes brawl in what should be one of the...
And if it was meant to be wacky and cartoony, like, I think for Diamond it would fit better, because that is wacky and cartoony, so that kind of exaggeration fits better. But for here, it's supposed to be more serious.
most titular fight in the entire
There's a middle ground.
series. I mean, I could seriously just add some Looney Tunes sound effects and it would not feel out of place at all.
Yeah, actually really does fit.
Not saying that going off model and a bit crazy with the animation is bad. If this was seen as something like Ping Pong
Yeah.
the animation, I'd be hard.
Oh yeah, it works really well for pinball animation, because sometimes going off model is good, just don't do it too much.
Highly impressed, but in the context of the series, it's so ridiculous it takes the viewer out of the experience rather than enhancing it. A complete opposite to, say, Konosuba Season 2's animation.
Yeah.
Here the characters constantly go off model, look stupid and wacky, and it works because this
It's
is
a comedy.
a comedy anime. It helps add character and enhances the comedy in the series. The next thing I want to touch on is how the quality of animation improves and can improve as time goes on. I mean, that makes sense, right? Just look at a show like Soul Eater, which is 8 years old now, and as you can see, it just looks terrible and dated. I mean, we can obviously
Yeah.
tell that this was made years ago with far inferior animation, and I'm not even sure what...
But you can kind of see, like, yeah, inferior animation, but you can kind of see with, I think with Soul Eater, it's still, like, it doesn't look as good as it would if it were made today, but you can kind of see they do have, like if this were just made today in the same process, it would probably look amazing. It's really just the fact that it's older is that it looks that way, but it does do a really good job at exaggeration and stuff. It's just for its time it's good. That's a better way to say it.
No Name animated this. Now go forward 5 years with Soul Eater Not, same studio, same characters, and as you can see,
Oh, yeah.
The
better
noticeable
way as well.
improvement in animation is just unbelievable. Aside from the evolution of art styles and character designs, I think in general the average quality of animation does improve as time goes on. And this is just a guess, but I think it's possible because there is an increased number of tools available and more talent in the industry now to make things look better overall with the constraints anime has. If we
Right.
take a much older show, like for example Ghazi's Wing, which is just the pinnacle of production values of the time. If you take this scene here and look really carefully, and I mean look really carefully, you may notice that to create the illusion of movement, they are just
Yeah.
physically moving the camera. And you know, it's cheap little tricks like this that can take you out of an experience. Because aside from this one thing, the show is pretty much perfect in every other way.
There is a war going on. Even dinosaurs are here. And they use bows and arrows. My sword is unbelievably dull. I don't know how we got separated, but I think we are still one person. We die together? Probably. No, it can't be true. I'm not joking.
Now you see the tools that are available today, and it's like a whole new fucking playground to play with.
Yeah.
I remember when Attack on Titan first aired, and I was
Oh,
just in
yes.
awe of the innovative use of the dynamic camera movements, which I don't remember being integrated before in a TV series so consistently. Wait a minute.
Oh, right.
Which I'm sure would be much harder to do without the aid of computers in the era of cell animation. And if you compare what was possible before to what is now with the integration of computerized tools and digital composition, well, I think God...
See, sometimes CGI can look good in some cases. It's just that, for me, like, I think it's like, if it's more unnoticeable, it's okay. But when it's like the main thing that you're looking at, it just feels too out of place.
Ghazi's Wing said it best.
You certainly got sexy.
But as I talked about before, there is no pinnacle of animation. If we are talking about the best of the best, those sweet, sweet Sakuga moments, there are still moments
Hey, no.
5, 10, 20 years old that still hold up to this day. There are moments in Akira or old Ghibli films that still kick the ass of 90% of anime coming out today, even some of the films. That's because these moments give an opportunity for the talent behind them to really shine, and the biggest difference with these tools and a bigger budget is that it makes it easier for the talents behind the show to do what they want to do. And without that talent, it means nothing. I know I made an offhand joke about Sakuga being the budget shot, and while more time and money certainly
Which is-
doesn't hurt, more budget does not necessarily mean better animation, and
True.
vice versa.
It's the talent behind it, but you do need budget for it.
Handshakers this year was possibly the prettiest looking car crash I've ever seen. It's like someone ate a whole pack of Skittles, vomited it on screen, started filming it while violently shaking the camera. It is a fucking mess. From a technical standpoint, the production was very ambitious with the complex shots and highly stylized aesthetics they were trying to pull off. And because of this, it's the perfect example of what happens when a bunch of guys plays around with these tools and a budget without the talent to make it
Yeah.
work. And now, a brief word on CG. That was it. I think what I was trying to get at here is that animation is kind of important to anime. What? We appreciate good animation, but simply saying something looks good doesn't do justice to the huge variety of skill and talent out there on display. And I hope even if you're a more casual viewer, you can at least appreciate the visual arts that goes into crafting the experience that you get. How much animation can add that it can leave you in awe, or how much...
Okay, I just want to check something really quick. Because he hasn't shown anything about Mob. What was this? Yeah, I think, didn't Mob Psycho 100 come out in 2016? It should be in here. And also One Punch Man. That's a way older show.
much it can detract from the experience if done incorrectly. Since while now anime is as popular as ever, with more of it than ever before and the art style ever evolving, it's important to remember that no matter how much tools improve to help artists, or how big the industry grows and how much money is thrown into a project, nothing can ever and will ever replace a great artistic eye and raw talent. Because if that's the case, then the pinnacle of animation has already been reached, because, whew, that's right, baby! Look at this lip-flap animation! Look at them! Oh god, how can anyone compete with such perfection?
Here's one coming, so okay, I think that's it, and then it's just gonna be an end card or something. So, back to the stream. What I miss? Coke Zero is. Okay. Ah, jeez. It did it again. It did. Okay, Coke Zero something. What? Something about Dojo. Oh, Coke Zero is ReZero's is to confirm. White Fox. Introduce The width of the theme witch of greed. I don't know what that is. Me, Ren, fan turning into. I don't get that. I haven't read the light novel, so I don't know what happens after. I've currently got an idea sheet made for what chaos ensues. That's good. And I want the events in which they come. It's good to plan things out, especially even for YTPs. I've actually done YTPs, like Charmix YTPs, where I did have a storyboard for it. Oh, as well as my Jeffy YTPs, because that actually has, it's mostly story for that one. Odd aesthetic, focus on aesthetic. That's a good way to put it. Oh, you like odd aesthetic? Can you name everyone in odd aesthetic? I don't even think I can. I forget their names sometimes. Yes, No Game No Life. Should I watch it? I heard there's JoJo. There is. There's I think 2 or 3. Yeah, I definitely give it a watch. Just note that there's never going to be a season 2 because season 1 has been out for so long, and everyone's always complained about there never being a season 2, and there just never has been. So, that's not gonna happen. They did have a movie, but it wasn't like a continuation. It was actually a flashback that gave it a bit of world building. Anyways, from what I learned by watching Mob Psycho 100, if the visual isn't that good, as long as the story is great, everything will be okay. That's fair. But for me, sure, the story could be amazing, but I really need to be able to watch it without squinting. From what I learned by, that's what I just read. Anime, have a beach episode with swimwear. Altins or Daga Kotowaru. Oh, that's the. I refuse. I get it. Gooder should be a word. It should. Odd aesthetic went surreal. Me when I'm trying to remember what I'm going to say during Jack streams. Interrogation room starts playing. Motion blur. Real life and what? Real life antagonist. Who are you? The triangle behind the war. I'm you. The war is serious. I need to stop reading all that. There's so much. Yes, Soul Eater. Imagine Odd aesthetic in the 80s. That'd be pretty aesthetic. So basically I plan on making a dojin. You do that. Of course, I'm not gonna post it on Webtoon. Jack is the next one, and with his odd aesthetic and mad science. So basically, trailer for ReZero Season 2 reveals... Oh, that's who that is. Echidna. Right? Echidna? Drinking tea, which is a thing she does, and she know about Subaru's ability. The triangle behind the war is from Odd Aesthetic. Oh, that one. That thing, yeah. I forgot the name I gave her. But yeah, now I remember what you're talking about. It's the Illuminati parody character. So, how many are you watching? Let's see. Yeah, music and anime. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna give, like, this job to... Okay, I might need to watch that, but that's more for writing. And we're focusing on the production. So, let's watch this, which is also, of course, a longer video. We're gonna see what he has to say about this and see if I can learn anything from this.
Let's talk about music.
Please stop.
No, not that stuff. I'm talking about music in anime.
Yes,
The good
music.
shit.
The good... Yeah, exactly, the good stuff. Stop. No.
With any medium, music can be used as a powerful weapon, and anime is no exception. As all through its history, there have been some absolutely beautiful examples littered throughout. With this video, I wanted to show a little appreciation about some of the ways music has been used in anime, and for anyone who got confused with my animation video...
Can we just check something real quick? Persona 5 was... Oh, wait, a better question. When did Persona 5 of the closet? Okay, yeah, so if he doesn't okay, there's even other Persona games in animes with good music. If he doesn't mention one of them, I'm gonna dislike the video.
This is not meant to be an in-depth breakdown. This is not a deep analysis. This is just my casual music appreciation thread. So to clear
So not a deep analysis, but I'll still watch it.
things up, this time let's just name the video Things Gigguk Appreciates About the Use of Musical Pieces in Japanese animation and other miscellaneous things that are too small to explore in a full video. Let's just call this music and anime. To make
I was gonna say like I know what a leitmotif is. I assume that's gonna be in here a lot.
things easier to digest this time, I've separated everything I want to talk about into nice little bite-sized categories. So let's start things off with unusual scores in anime. By having a unique quality to the soundtrack or even a single song, perhaps using a genre or instrument you wouldn't normally associate with that type of show, allows the score to stand out even more, and if
That's very true. That's very true.
done right, enhances the experience or even revolutionizes the perception we have between a type of music and a genre of media. I'm talking about the use of bagpipes in Fairy Tail, how Nujabes' beats and
Maybe how there's jazz. There's parts of jazz and like 80s types music being used in both relaxing and action-packed scenes in Persona 5. Maybe that's something you could mention.
Samurai Champloo, sponsored by Herbal Essences, completely transformed the association we have of lo-fi hip-hop beats to traditional samurai.
Wait, they use lo-fi? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I thought I was going to be the first to do that.
With Eurobeat and Initial D doing a very similar thing
Your
to
hero beat.
street racing, and using free jazz and Gundam Thunderbolt, perfectly blending the controlled
Okay. Sure.
chaos of jazz with the actual chaos of a battlefield, strengthened by its innovative use of mixing the diegetic jazz music our characters are listening to with the non-diegetic score. Ooh, yeah, look at those big boy words. A unique score can add so much personality to a show, giving it that extra layer of appeal. And I think the best example I can use to
Oh yeah, with mine, I guess I'll put lo-fi and vaporwave stuff in there, but I need to learn how to make that first. So that'll be hard to do.
hammer this point home is when comparing the original Hellsing anime to Hellsing Ultimate. Now, anyone who's watched both series can pretty much agree that Hellsing Ultimate is better in basically every way.
I haven't seen
Except
it,
for
but sure.
arguably the music. Now, this isn't to say the music was bad. Far from it. If we look at the soundtrack that's mainly comprised of orchestral tracks with the occasional opera choir, it's very suiting for the themes and tone of the show. But that's kind of it. It does its job and does it well, but there's nothing really distinct or unique about it, and that's saying something for a show about modern undead vampires fighting Nazi zombies. Now, if we listen to some of the tracks from the original,
That's aesthetic right there.
you hear it and you just think, whew, man, what is this sexy piano? Is it getting hot in here? Am I being seduced? Damn, Alucard, you smooth motherfucker. Butter me up and take me home, because I'm sure you're about to show me a good time. Nice. The jazzy influenced beats of the original anime's OST just has so much more character and style in it than the epic orchestral choir, even if the latter is more thematically suited. And for that reason, it's just far more memorable. When I think of Hellsing, my mind immediately goes back to these tracks, even if I only remember the events of Hellsing Ultimate. Now, I'm not saying the music always needs to stand out. Sometimes its job is to not detract from what's happening on screen. I'm just highlighting what it could possibly add to it. But there are some anime where the music is definitely one of, if not the main stars of the show. Music is the identity. Here I'm talking about anime where the music is such an essential part of the show's identity that to replace the music would be to essentially change the anime at its core.
We're
I'm
all
talking about things
Shinigami
like
together.
Cowboy Bebop's legendary musical numbers, Brad Whipps' contribution to Your Name, and Daft Punk's full-on animated album in Interstellar 555555. 555. Hi, is this Domino's Pizza? I think a lot of these can be attributed to the fact that in these examples there were scenes in the anime that were tweaked according to the music, as opposed to the music being composed after the visuals had been done. Shinkai changed up scenes in the script according to the songs Radwimps composed, with very similar things happening in how Kano and Watanabe were working during Bebop, and Interstellar 5, 6, 7, 8 was a music video stretched over an album. So yeah, we could play You Say Run over it, but why would we? Stupid question, let's do it anyway. As I mentioned in my Your Name video though, the series that epitomizes this the most is Fooly Cooley's iconic rock soundtrack done by the Pillows. Now I've already said that...
Is he really not going to mention Persona 5? Or any Persona game?
The entire show feels like a string of loosely connected music videos. I mean, fuck, they certainly weren't connected by plot. He says watching a red robot pop out of a literal dickhead to suplex a bigger robot hand before being domesticated by getting his head smashed in with a bass guitar. God, I miss this fucking show. Which is why one of the few things that holds the series together and gives it a bit of cohesion is the Pillows' music. The songs don't feel like they are tracks written to accompany any kind of visuals. It feels like just a full-on album, as even the tracks without vocals are instrumentals of tracks with them. But because of this, and because of the way the scenes were integrated with the songs, these songs and the band are a central part of the show. It's to the point where all my pessimism and skepticism surrounding the newly announced sequels culminated in this reaction for the trailer. Okay, this is looking alright. I mean, I'm still not too excited because we don't really need a sequel, and I'm still highly weary because none of the original team are behind it.
It's gonna be amazing! It's gonna be the best thing ever! Nothing can possibly go wrong!
As with entire soundtracks that we associate with the show, singular tracks can also carry the same, if not a much heavier weight behind it. And I'd like to talk about that in this section called Songs We Associate with Stuff. I know what you're thinking. Kiga, you literary title genius. I know. We can look at how music can be used to condition you into feeling an emotional response. Let me give you an example. For anyone who's seen Anohana, what do you feel when you hear this track?
I haven't seen it, so I can't cry to this. I assume that's the answer though, is that you cry.
Here I am, I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep again.
I knew it.
Now, I actually love Anohana, but even I have wised up at the use of this song at the end of every episode, which plays at the most emotional moments. And because of this, every time we hear the track,
usually the end of the episode is the most emotional part, so like, the song has to be like, kind of fitting for it. But in the sense that it's usually like low-key, or even for like an action-packed show, it'll be like kind of a low-key song to kind of fit any emotional scene. Like if someone dies, it can play it while still being lighthearted, but also with the context of being sad. That's kind of what I want for like an ED, but I kind of want to think more on the lines of an OP, and then just the music in the actual anime. That's kind of the stuff that I want to focus on for this.
Associated with feeling sad and emotional, which builds and builds, culminating in a final episode, which I can only describe as a full-on bukkake of ugly cry. It's like with Pavlov's dog, the experiment in the 1890s where Ivan Pavlov managed to condition a dog into salivating by ringing a bell every time the dog was given food, to the point where the dog would start salivating at the bell sound even when there was no food. And you know, Pavlov was probably there looking at his dog like, what a stupid dog. What a stupid dog to be tricked by such a simple trick. And here humanity is 100 years later going, man. And you see this in use all over anime. Clannad, Little Busters, hell, pretty much every key show. And it's not just limited to sad responses either. You have the victory music. How about the shit's about to go down track? And that character theme. You know, the character that's hiding up.
Yeah. Every time you hear L's thing, you think of L. I think another good example is actually Insult Eater. I mean, it's not the best example, but it's probably something worth mentioning. Is that Death the Kids theme? It's interesting because it sounds very Western and Texan, but he's not. But because it has like the what's that called? The thing, whatever that's called. The harmonica. I think it is. Yeah. It has like a harmonica mixed in, as well as like later on in the song, it uses the sound of gunshots and reloading in the beat, which is pretty cool.
Guy to follow them around with a boombox everywhere, so every time they appear on screen, the music shouts, "Hey guys, it's your boy coming at you live! Be sure to smash the like button to see me and Kira!" By building association, you build the impact it can have on the audience. You can even boil it down to a melody, for example. You can have a simple baby version where you lay out a melody so the audience builds some familiarization. Then when you really need it to hit, you inject the testosterone, increase the musical layers, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's actually something interesting. Is that, with the Konosuba opening, like, okay, sometimes something I like to do, like, when I lie down and get ready to go to bed, is I, like, put on headphones and listen to, like, music. Usually, most of it from anime. And, one thing I'll try to do, is if there's, like, singing and stuff in it, is I'll try to envision, like, that music, this pre-existing song, going with, an opening to really any of the concepts that I come up with, but mostly odd aesthetic. And then something interesting with Konosuba, I can never do that, because every time I hear the song and I try to think of something, I automatically think of what's shown in the actual OP, because it's so memorable. And it's also just really funny, and like, it packs so much in there, but also makes it really concise. So it's like, it's a weird mixture. Head's itching. So it's like, it's something that you, like, even listening to the music, I can still watch it in my head and laugh at it because of how creative it is.
you just let it rip for full effect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and that is kind of another thing with the sort of leitmotif thing. From my understanding, a leitmotif is basically a piece of music that's shared throughout different songs of whatever show or whatever. So, like, that thing right there. It's in multiple songs in the My Hero Academia soundtrack, so that it not only connects you, or not only is it memorable, like, whenever you hear that motif, you automatically think, My Hero Academia, but also, it, like, kind of connects scenes. So, like, you hear the sad music with, you know, something emotional and sad going on, but then you hear the triumphant one, and you kind of connect those. So then you kind of feel, if how do you say that? Like, you feel like the character, whoever's going through a triumphant thing, you can feel like the sadness that came from it and what motivates them to push through.
Conversely, it can also be used to subvert your expectations. Spoilers for Bleach. Bleach had one of the most
I don't care.
unique victory songs
I'm
in
not watching
Shonen.
it.
I mean, speaking of hiring a boombox carrier, Ichigo hired a full-on group of soul singers to follow him about every time he was about to do something awesome. But one effective way they were able to frame how completely overpowered Aizen was as a villain was to have him do this.
Oh, nice.
Did you catch that? No, it's not the fact that he caught the sword with one finger, it's that he literally stops the bloody victory music! Fucking what? By completely subverting the association of that.
Oh man, I was gonna do something like that. Like, for, because, you know, the whole meme where it's like, the anime theme song, the main theme starts playing, and everything goes right for the main character. I was gonna have something similar to that in, like, the ending of Diamond, except, like, near the ending of the song, the villain actually ends up being triumphant over Jakku, but it's still playing the song as if it's a victory. And then just, you know, it doesn't work out in his favor. Because that's a lot of what happens in Odd Aesthetic, is that Jakku expects the story to go one way, and it goes the opposite way. So a lot of his frustration ties into that sort of thing, where he not only does he question, like, is this even a good story to begin with, but he also questions, like, am I a good protagonist for the story?
Track with Ichigo kicking
ties
ass,
into
it
that.
told us that there was absolutely no safe space with this villain, which
This
was a
dude got
fantastic way
glasses,
to
he's a
build up
simp.
how much of a threat this individual was. Whew. That was a long segment. What are we talking about
see.
next?
Chili Kill.
には聞こえる僕のこの声が
Oh yeah, how could I forget? That moment when
The world of knife defense is packed with the dumbest techniques in all of martial arts.
The opening song comes on.
Oh, yeah, see, there it is.
Or, as I like to call it, the instant nut moment. You know the drill. We've reached the end. It's episode 24. No, wait. Episode 12. For all you hip millennials out there. We're in extra time, bases are loaded, and all hope looks lost. But as your main boy gears up for one final attack, you hear the first few beats of a familiar tune. It's the opening. You look over to your pal Tommy, and he's looking at you. Both of you aren't prepared, but you both know what has to happen. You give a final approving nod, and as the chills run down your spine, in sync, you both unzip your pants because you
No.
know it's time to nut. What I described was probably a one.
I was gonna say something else as well. One good plan that I have for Autostatic is that actually, in like the final episode, and I probably have this like happen for all seasons, but like in the final episode, it plays the opening as like it shows like the little part before the opening starts. It shows like a little bit of context, and then it would end with like Jakku being like up against. I can't really explain it very well without it being like spoilery as much, but like basically the layout of where he is like there's this big chamber where the final battle is gonna happen, and he's over here on this wall. There's basically like they went through a hallway this way, like this way, and so there's a wall right here. So he like while the other characters are talking to each other, like their plan of attack, he goes up and like puts his foot on the wall and is ready to push off and go into the thing. So all the other characters look at him. He's like, Jakku, what are you doing? And he says, just waiting for the opening theme to start here. and then the opening theme starts. It plays like the actual intro, but then halfway through the partway through the chorus, it changes to where. Like, because I would plan for in that part, it would showcase kind of a generalization of what the final battle would look like. But in that case, it changes to where it is the final battle, and like right when the beat hits, he pushes off the wall, or it transitions to back in the episode, and he pushes off the wall exactly when it starts playing, and then it would play through the intro as normal, while it's showing the actual fight scene. So that's always something that I plan for the series.
100%.
And I really hope that's how it works out.
Accurate description of an experience you've had in a climax of an anime. And this goes back to the music that we associate with stuff. As you have to listen to an opening every time you watch a show, or, at least once if you end up skipping most openings like me. What this means is... Wait, what? If you end up skipping most openings like me. If you end up skipping most openings like me. If you end up skipping most openings like me.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, I'd like to report a hate crime, please.
What this means is there is that guaranteed association we talked about earlier, but because most openings are designed to hype you up to see the actual show, that is the perfect emotional association to have, which is why playing the opening at the show's climax is pretty much a guaranteed insta-cum, even though everyone uses this technique. Lastly, I wanted to quickly mention bad anime with great OSTs. Great music can elevate a good anime into all new heights, but what I find way more interesting is, for me, how it can make bad anime kind of watchable and enjoyable. I remember watching the first few seconds of Guilty Crown and being immediately captivated by the opening scene playing this beautiful song. What a way to open a show. You look at this opening and you think, man, this is going to be something special.
Yeah, it looks like
this
that would be
is
good.
something I need to pay attention to because it could turn out fantastic. And then the second half of the series hits and it's just like, But what gets me is that despite the complete mess that the show turned into, there were still scenes that grabbed me when it had absolutely no right to do so. Because it's hard not to be just a little bit engrossed for a second when you have beautiful tracks alongside the absolutely bombastic action music. Even even if the scenes that accompanied them were a fucking mess of a dog turd. See, that's the thing about good music pieces. It can make you, for a second, forget about the rest of the shit show surrounding a series to help engross you into a scene or a moment, because that's the power it has. As much as I have memed this scene from Tokyo Ghoul Route A, even I have to admit that the acoustic version of Unravel is powerful as fuck. Never before has the voice of a man who sounds like he permanently has his bollocks trapped in a vice grip sounded so soothing. In fact, the entire soundtrack of
Vice
Tokyo
grip.
Ghoul's second season, out of nowhere, was pretty damn awesome compared to the previous season, despite the season itself being because you know what? Taken by itself, I actually really fucking like this scene. The raw musical piece paired with the slow pacing of Kaneki and the long shots made for this soothing experience. But taken in the context of the rest of the series, and it's just like... okay. What about the rest of the characters? Is Toka still running? What I want to end on is just talking about Zanki no Terra for a bit, because to this day it remains one of the most unique scores I've heard in an anime and one of my favourites. Not only taking inspiration from beautiful atmospheric Icelandic music, which in itself is rare in anime, but juxtaposing that against the hyper-realistic art style in a chaotic plot about terrorism, which really shouldn't have worked, culminated in some of the most beautiful and poetic experiences I've had watching anime, even through its suspect writing. It's what cemented Yoko Kanno is my favourite anime composer of all time, which is a very cliche answer in the mountains of talented anime composers out there, but what this showed me is how diverse she can be, and after many years of outstanding work in her years of working in anime, was still able to pull out something so entirely different from anything we'd heard before, yet still have it be an absolute masterpiece. In the end, what I really wanted to hammer down is that music is something I highly value, not only in anime but in my own work as well. One of my favourite compliments I can get from a comment is, "Hey, I love the music choices for this video," and that's because I'm a dumb fucker who spends way too much time trying to pick the perfect song choices to match the exact tone I have in my head, as I apply a lot of the things I've talked about in my own work, and I didn't even get to talk about everything I wanted to talk about. Music isn't always at the forefront of a show. Sometimes it's simply the score's job to support the visuals, character and plot which take the spotlight, but I have a soft spot for composition that goes that extra mile. So I hope in the least that this video has reminded you about some of your favourite uses of music in anime, because it's thanks to this
Persona 5.
magical world that I can proudly shove my phone playlist on the speakers at a party to have people turn around and ask, "Wow, where does this beautiful music come from?"
Okay, well, anyways. Yeah, that was pretty insightful, but I think I kind of knew most of the things anyways. Let's see everything that I've missed. Okay, triangle. Cool. Triangle. Where's triangle? Come on. I can... There we go. Found triangle. Man, imagine if I insert some lolly robot with... okay. Everybody gangsta until an interrogation room starts playing. Some toothpaste. I'm gonna skip through some of these. Man, imagine the character named Lo-Fi. Made for away from Lo-Fi. I'm sorry, but I might have done that. Sorry, what was that? Why? I've done some Futaba level of research and now I've discovered Jack's true form, but I'm not gonna say it because I respect privacy. Okay, thank you for that. Yuguk is not a Persona fan confirmed. This is so sad. Imagine being quite possibly the first emo Isekai protag. Who was the first emo Isekai protag? I wonder. Jacker got lo-fi'd. He was already lo-fi. And Vaporwave OP. Oh! Lo-fi ED. I thought you were saying he got lo-fi'd, as in, like, a verb. That's what I plan, anyways. Or, at least, it'd be action-packed, but it would have, like, the, characteristics of Vaporwave. Like, more like it's a Vaporwave remix of a song that I would like to make. I don't know if I can do that. Death the Kid theme is the best because it's Lotus Juice. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, of course, it's Lotus Juice. And Persona 3 soundtrack have Lotus Juice. A lot of the Persona soundtracks have Lotus Juice anyways, so fair. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that is the same voice. Wow. Jack listening to Take Over while sleeping, and then he enters the velvet room and Jack away. Well, it's not usually like Persona music. Like, or no, I listen to Persona music, but when I'm talking about like imagining Actually, no, I have none with Persona thing, but I don't know, it's weird because it's a little different there. Well, I'm talking about like, there's like specific songs from like Japanese artists that I listen to that sound like they could be anime openings. So I kind of imagine like if it was my anime in there. But of course, I would want it to be an anime original song because I feel like that's a lot more like. Not only would it be like more respectable, or that's probably not the right word. It'd be more impressive. That's the right word. Not only would it be more impressive, but also, one, I can make it whatever I want, and two, I can make the lyrics whatever I want. So I can, like, what I would like for an opening, what would be for it to have like a whole bunch of like self-aware jokes in it, like. No, obviously, I'd just be like memeing on the whole like. The idea is, oh, this is the greatest story ever created, so obviously the lyrics would reflect this is the greatest anime ever created, and then like the season 2 would be like, this is season 2, get it, because I'm saying it's season 2 or something like that. So Jack does a lot of research about aesthetic. Me does research on name, meaning, color theory, arcana, chest size, and character design. No, I do that too. I do name, meaning, and color theory. A lot of color theory, actually. Well, I don't use it that much, but I do use it in a lot of places. And I know kind of about arcana. So I'm the Moon Arcana, if you didn't know, apparently. And less on that. But a character design I've studied a lot. Excuse me, I have a book about this, okay? I think I know a lot. Jakku, so that's what's gonna happen. Hot aesthetic. Haha, nope. You were wrong. Jakku, what are you doing? Or everyone, Jakku, what are you doing? Hold on. I'm waiting for the opening. Yeah, that's what I said. Simp. Simp. Imagine having a girlfriend. What a simp. Imagine if Odd Aesthetic is done by A1. I would die. Honestly, that would be the worst thing to happen to me. If I find out that A1 Pictures isn't one, I'm taking that property back. I'm ripping the contract. I don't care if I get arrested. I'm doing that. It better not be A1. At least make it a good team. Or, okay, A1, technically the quality of an animation, doesn't matter on the actual the actual, what's that called? The actual, whatever, the studio. It doesn't matter on the studio. So, okay, anyways. It doesn't matter what studio is working on it. What really matters is the people behind it. So what I would like is for, I guess, less specifically, like Bones Studios or Trigger Studios, but rather just the people that have worked on stuff like Mob Psycho 100, maybe possibly My Hero Academia, Season 1 of One Punch Man, kind of, because they do go into realistic stuff, but like it's more like the action that kind of like, it kind of revolutionized action, to be fair. There's something like that, and then Kill la Kill and BMA. Brand new Animal. That one has some good coloring in it. I gotta be honest. Protag, Ultimate Form, Jakku, Meta Form, Azura, Nyx's Hands Eyes. That's scary. So basically, it's this character named Nyx. I know who Nyx is. The character exists because of a wording that Azura. Oh, for your thing, I thought you were talking about Persona 3. Azura does when he requests something before he got into the Isekai world in the Velvet Room. A fellow moon. Nice. Right now, gonna turn into Tower next. What you can do? You can change arcanas. Excuse me. Oh yeah, that is the Never mind. Okay. Odd aesthetic, bad ending. 1. A1 adaptation. Odd aesthetic, best ending. Number 1. Trigger/Bones adaptation. Odd aesthetic, not too serious. My life, a little bit serious, but not that serious. There are some serious scenes in Odd aesthetic, but it's mostly comedy. It's funny first, and then no, that's the wrong way to think about it. It's story first, but then I add on the comedy. Like, in the way that you see it, you see the comedy first, and then you start to see more of the character. It's a whole exposition thing. But yeah, that's actually the last video I got. We sure did learn a lot today, boys and girls. So yeah. For anyone that still cares, because I completely forgot that the main point of this was to learn how to make an anime, and I basically kind of know what I'm going to do now. But I'm not going to start production. That's going to be a while away. Why? Because guess what? I have an essay to write in 10 days that I have not worked on at all. So, I'm going to do that. I might not end the stream. I'm going to let it go on for a little more, because I need that sweet, sweet ad revenue. And apparently, I've found out, apparently doing live streams for a really long time actually helps out your analytics, because, you know, it's a long thing that I guess people can listen to in the background, or at least that's my reasoning behind it. I just heard statistically your channel performs well when you do live streams. So, that's what I'm gonna do here. And yeah. I think this is a pretty clickbait title, don't you think? Maybe I'll capitalize it. And change the thumbnail would be a good idea, actually. Wait, don't capitalize the A and N. That'll make sense. Not made for kids. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. Okay. So yeah. Now, I have idea. I have idea, everyone. Yes, I forgot. I have this. An article. Which... Who cares? Who cares? Billy Mays, who cares? Why are you telling me this? It was this one, actually. Yeah, okay, pictures. That's something. This has the whole, like, graph thing on it. This is the kind of stuff that I need to know. Oh yeah, and that's actually what led me to the Gimmick video. Right. Oh yeah. There was something else I was gonna say. So, for the actual thing, I'm going to start production a long time from now. The reasoning being, one is because the deadline I set for myself is 2022, which is 2 years from now. I've got some time. I plan for college to probably be animation, but I don't know, because I don't really want to do that for a job, to be honest. Like, for this, I'll do it because it's not only is it a proof of concept, but it also just sounds like something I would like to do. But honestly, I'd rather go into a career of editing, because that just sounds a lot funner. And a little bit easier than, say, animation. But also, what I was planning was... What was I going to say? I was going to say something, wasn't I? Too bad. I don't know what that was. Now I gotta think about it. Right. Okay. One, I got like this essay to write in like 10 days, which coincidentally, since it's about career paths, I could probably, like, what it's gonna be is like, what's something like bad about the career that you plan to go into, and what's a solution to that. And what I'm going to choose is animation, because there's a lot of flaws with that and a lot of fixes. So that should be pretty, not easy, but simple for me. Simple enough for me. But there's also that. I also want to start it once I actually get to that part in here. So, one thing I'm planning. Normally, I upload monthly. So, one thing that I'm planning to do is instead of... Well, okay. I'll still upload monthly. But maybe, sometime in between months, I could possibly upload extra content, which would be pretty nice, but a lot more work for me, which is funny. So yeah, and if you notice, I actually did put something in Premiere, and don't focus, or okay, maybe I'll actually have to go to the video to show you. Let's see. Yeah, I can get rid of this one. So what? I don't care. Let's go to my channel. Oh, get rid of that. There it is. This is one called Jakku Has a Problem. It's a small. How long is this? It didn't say. It's just a small video. A small little short. With the announcement that this has been done, and it is premiered on a specific date. Honestly, I just put it like way ahead in the future, because I don't know specifically when I'm going to start production, but this is, ready to be premiered. Ready to be premiered when that happens, whenever I'm ready to have it, and then I'll reschedule this. Yeah. And that'll be the day when I start it. Obviously. Why does this look weird? Oh, that's why. It's because I went down a certain place. That's probably why. Oh yeah! We are close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't, go ahead and ask a question for the Q&A that I'm setting up for 2,000 subscribers. And also watch my other content, because that's not happening very much at the moment. Why not this one? That's topical. Okay, I'm trying to steal the view. I think it's because Jakku looks really stupid in the thumbnail. I should have drawn better, to be honest. I don't think I was in a very good drawing. See, I drew him pretty okay here in the waifu tier list, which 70 people watched, sure. But anyways, that's like way off topic. Also, I want Charmus to react to that, but the more I think about it, the more I think that there's a lot of anime in there, and he won't get the joke. Like, there's this whole segment revolved around Mista from JoJo's, and that it's not gonna work out very well. And then there's a whole like Persona 4 reference in there. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say. Yeah. So, production not starting today, but this is the official announcement that that's going to happen. That there is going to be a pilot, and this is the announcement for that pilot when that happens, or when that starts production. So yeah, that's it. I'm still gonna stall for like 30 minutes. What the chat gotta say? Oops. What? Okay, odd aesthetic early part. Haha, yes, the ultimate protagonist. Odd aesthetic later part. Laser gun? Laser gun. Laser gun. He himself is the laser gun. Tomoko uses double gun. Azura, my neutral special. Haha. Help Jack's analytics. Interesting. Yeah, they're not very good. You don't want to see them, trust me. Oh hey, I uploaded some new videos. One is a YTP, maybe you'll watch. Maybe, but now I have to get through all of this. Secret ending. Jack turns into an animation story time channel that is overly successful. If you do the glitches, yes. Secret Ending 2, Jack becomes a reaction channel. No. Lynn is a great singer for some. Oh yeah, that's her name, right, Lynn? Yeah. Really good. Jack writes essay about career path. What an interesting subject. It's really not. Everybody gangster told Jakku have blue hair. Sure. If Jakku goes blue, I guess I'll have to retaliate by making Azura yellow. Cool. It's just JoJo goes. Whoa, Jack with no 7M. Hold on, let me get around. Naked, no brim. I've sent my question. Hope you read it. Yeah, I saw it. I saw most of the questions, and I'll obviously answer them with the video, which it won't come out once I reach 2,000. I'll probably do a live stream. It'll be like a last minute stream, like just one that shows up whenever it's about to happen. But I will be doing a live stream once I get close to that. And then once I surpass it, I'll go ahead and make the video. I don't know if I'll start making the video, because I want to wait till I actually get to 2,000. And then I'll post a video. Let's just say that. I'll post a video, and then, yeah. So, it's a long ways from actually me doing it, but yeah. I will look at all of them, so, don't delete your comment, but I don't know why you would, but sure. Nah, that's a great drawing. I forgot which one. For which part you were talking about. Or what I was talking about at the time. Oh, also, Jack, how are you gonna make your character expressive in both facial and posture? Well, you see, well, I don't know, because I kind of do that already, but I don't really know how to describe it. Let's look to Manga Mania Universe, the massive book of drawing manga, best-selling manga author, 7+ million books sold, ! Drawing with Christopher Hart, draw 250 plus manga characters. That's the full title, trust me. I can read. Let's see, did they say anything about expressive? I don't know if it's this one. I have another book, so... I think it's more about just drawing in general. I'll find the other book. Let's see. Look at that thing. Ow. I hurt myself. What is this? I don't remember this being here. That's weird. Anyways. Maybe I should clean up this part of my room. That'd be fun. Hey! Okay. Stop! I broke my glasses. No. My identity has been revealed. Anyways. Now we have draw manga faces for expressive characters. Learn to draw more than 900 faces. Aya Hasoi. It's Sugoi. Oh, Impact. It also says Impact. There. I don't know why. Anyways. So yeah, for expressive characters, so this will probably be a good base for it. Says the character types, we have positive facial expressions, and then the negative facial expressions. So I do have a good, source for this, but I think I draw pretty expressive characters anyways. As for poses, that's going to be a lot harder. I think they do show somewhat about poses in this book, as well as, I don't know, for me, I kind of want it to be like JoJo, but in a different sense. Like, with JoJo, the iconic poses are more based off Greek and Roman, just Italian sculptures and statues. It's more based off stuff like that. And, like, it's, like, romanticism or whatever, and it's, like, done in a way that's, like, realistic, like, someone could do that. But for me, I want my poses to be more unrealistic, like Well, you I think I've shown one where it's like Tomoko. She like has a. So she has like she has two guns in her hands, right? She has one here and then one back here, but like obviously exaggerated. So it's like really you have to move. I can't do it because I just have so much muscle, but it's something like that. And then with Jakku, you've seen it in the actual webtoon that there's like times where he twists his arms around in ways that don't make sense, and his legs as well. I want a lot of the fights to be like centered around leg movements as well as well as just like parts where people are just being flung all over the place and stuff, like that kind of thing. Like when I say like the fight being like based off the legs, I mean like there's a lot of there'd be a lot of movements, like I guess you could like with was that type of dancing where it's like whoa, whoa, that kind of thing, but with the legs, like they all turn around and stuff, and that's kind of what I would want. Anyways, so that's how I'll do that. Hey you guys, I'm back. I've almost got the project done. All that's left is to upload. Nice. Also, hello there. How do I say that? Yusra Sayakuria. This is Equan. My phone died, so have a good day. Oh. Hello, Equan, but in another persona. Have a good day. I guess that means you're leaving. But there's 6 people now. What? Now we go up 1. Hey, he uses Christopher Hart as well. Yas. Thought I had another book. Oh yeah, no, it's the one that teaches me to write the manga in theory and practice, the craft of creating manga. Hirohiko Araki, also known as the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But this is more for writing. There are some parts that teach you how to draw pretty well. So yeah. Persona 5 to be exact. I don't know what you're referring to. What is that in response to? I don't know. But anyways, Train Man had a love video to show. And well, I searched your name so many times. Why it's not? Okay, 4? No. There's a 6. That's a 9. 6. It is a 4. What? 4, 7. 6? Why? I can't. Okay. It's a joke to Equan? Oh, okay. Oh no, it did. It should. Okay, sure. Okay. Okay. Fine. You do that to me. Okay. Since when did this change? I don't remember that changing. Yeah, this is different from how it was before. I like it. I don't know, a lot of times when I like watch videos like recreationally, it'll either be on my phone so I don't see the banner all that much, or I'll just click whatever is recommended. So anyways, what was the actual video that I'm hearing about? It was a while ago. Is the Chad one the one? Oh no, you said it was a white TV repeated, right? Okay, so it's not specific, but it is. I assume it's this one, or maybe it's the one. You know what? You know what? Maybe it's the one that says YTV and V in the title. That might be a good indication that this is the right one. Oh, nice. assume it's a Vocaloid thing. Most probably Hatsune Miku, but like chroma keyed with certain colors. Yeah, that's probably Hatsune Miku. That's a succubus. I don't know what the original source is. Nice. That's some dank vibes right there. That reminds me, I actually know people that can make music. I forgot. Well, okay, Trayman makes YTP and Vs, but like for actual music creating, I actually do know people that do that. So, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I just thought that I can actually contact. I don't like this thumbnail. What is this? I can actually contact people to help me with the music. That's a good idea. Because that's what everyone else does. Except I'm not paying in money. I'm paying in clout because I'm homeless. Anyways, remember the live stream you told me to change my banner since I changed it for I see. That makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm thinking that maybe. I'm thinking to end the stream sometime around 11 or so. So it's just like, I like it when the live streams end on a round number. Or somewhat. Like how long has it been now? That's wrong screen. Here it is. It's been almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. So probably ending it around now would be a good idea. But I could also just like wait until it's been exactly 3 hours, which I don't know why, but it says 3 hours right there. Anyways, so we could always work on. I could show my process of working on other stuff. Should I have a live stream? No. You know what I should do? I should make multiple live streams of me in the process of making. Because like, it wouldn't be too much of spoilers, right? Like once I start the production, because at the time I start the production. I will have actually finished that arc, or that what would be the episode. I would have finished it in the actual webtoon. So, it'd be it wouldn't be a spoiler or anything. So I could show the process of making it while I'm making it, and it wouldn't be spoilery. So that's a good idea. Thank you, Jack7M. You're so smart. Let's read this. No, it's the game Tohu. It's an anime game. Ah, I see. Okay. So, I was for some reason I was thinking, because it did sound, it had the anime vibes, right? So for a second I thought it was like a very stylized, like Hatsune Miku video where it's like, you know, bright blue and royal blue, like, how do you say that? And then the 3D models. It's like Persona 5, the thing in Persona 5, you know, that thing. Where it'll take a mod in like the intro. Or the menu. The main menu. It shows the silhouettes of the characters put over the 3D model. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways. My gamer brethren. Okay. There is a video I kind of want to check out. I made a. Okay. What the hell? I made a trailer in a month, something around those lines. Okay. How? I've seen it. It's something around that, along those lines. Let me see. Borrowed time. though. It's interesting. Anyways, I don't want short films though. I want to see. Is it? No. Okay. No. I hate these. That's not really. That's terrible. Put effort into it, please. Slime. Not the point. I need it. Okay. Stop uploading. Stop. Please. This, okay, yeah, that actually looks good. Thank you for not being this. Okay, well, that doesn't look sad. That looks like Family Guy. Well, okay, yeah, Family Guy is pretty sad. Well, it's sad that it exists. That's creepy, but cool and fascinating. Please stop. Okay. How I made. I'm pretty sure he did it in a month. No, not that. This is a different one. What is this? What? Okay. Burnt? Oh, a fake. Wow. Okay, that's funny. Because it's Niigahika. Oh yeah, that movie that never happened. Cool. What? Oh, I see. Oh, it's stupid. That's cool. I want to see that. Meme Hour. And they have the MLG glasses. Why do we let people make videos? I don't get that. No, I don't. I don't need that. We don't need this. Why? Back at the sky. Okay. I could look through my history, but it was a fairly long time. But possibly? Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was all way too long ago. Okay. Trailer? What is this? Oh. Why was I watching that? Oh, I guess I accidentally clicked on it. Yeah, way too long ago. Way too long ago. It's just how? Because I'm pretty sure that was in the title, right? Okay. Alright. Okay. What is it? Okay, I don't think it was that long ago, so... how I... No, wait, because if it doesn't have how, then it won't have that. Month. Okay. Yeah, that was way too long ago. Yeah, no. Months. I want to find the video. Oh, no. Okay. Let's do animated. Come on. Why? Movie, because I don't know. Yeah, probably not, man, why can't I think of it? I'm gonna try it one more time. See what I can come up with. I. Definitely not, definitely not. Okay, try it again. Process. Oh yeah, yeah. That's really okay. Forget that. That's not gonna work. So possibly what I could do. So it's a really, really long time ago. Yeah, probably before this. Oh yeah, I need. Okay, let me click on that because I need to watch that. Anyways, well, great. Now I have to redo the whole thing. He's in the bathroom. I can't remember. Like maybe a few weeks ago. Yeah, this is all like the other day, so way long before this. So what was that? Okay, I haven't seen that video either. Ah, alright. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay. That would probably be a good video to watch because that is basically what I'm doing. Is that. I think we're getting close to what I'm looking for. Oh, that's a really good video, by the way. Oh yeah, I changed the thumbnail of this video as well. Yeah, it's... What was it called? Maybe the video got deleted or something, so I can't watch it. I mean, I hope that's not the case. Alright, see, there's greenery. That's the ED to it. Look, it's so cool and interesting colors, and they use a style of animation that weird flash animation that usually isn't done, but they do it pretty well for an ED. Ah, it's cool. Oh yes, the bad ending. but okay. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. I swear, I'm not gonna give up, because I've already spent so much time trying to get to this. So, oh yeah, this guy, Diesel Patches, is gay. Very, very good content creator. I swear I haven't seen this one. I don't remember this. Oh man. See, I feel like at this point, no, I'm pretty sure it's beyond this point, but I also don't. Wait, yeah, I looked up that clip for that part of the YTV, so I'm pretty sure it's beyond this. Let's see, Studio Tripper. I think it just says, and why we're doomed because it's furry. I don't know. Actually, why. That's what? Oh, that's the full... Okay, I see. No, it wasn't. Okay. Just making sure. Oh yeah, this is a live stream of like anime music that I was looking for a while, and I finally found it. Because I've seen it before, and then I lost it and I found it again. So that's interesting. Can I really? Oh. Up, up. Yep. There it is. Okay. Side note, I actually heard that redoing YTPs is a thing that people do. Like, if you have a really old YTP and it's bad, I've actually heard that some people recreate them well. I'm thinking of doing the same thing to this one, because it's bad. 9.4K views. Please don't be my first video to 10K. That would be so bad. It'd be a terrible accomplishment. But yeah, that's, I'm thinking of redoing that one, which, would rake in some good views. It's also weird, because Charmix never reacted to this one, but it's still so popular, which is interesting. And I know, like, at a certain point, it got a big resurgence because Season 3 was happening at the time. Then Season 4 came out, and it got even bigger. I think that's why. So, yeah, I'll definitely redo that one, actually. But why is it so hard to find the video? Okay. Oh. That's a good one. Sure, let's add it to a queue. Why not? Yeah, we're not gonna play it yet, we're gonna make a queue of videos, and there's probably a lot of stuff in the chat that I have to catch up with because I'm taking so long. This thing. To be honest, that's not always a good thing though, because something like in this scene of JoJo, it's actually better the way it is because sometimes things need to be characteristically janky. They don't always have to look 60 FPS because sometimes when it does, it looks too smooth, and sometimes it's better not to be smooth. Anyways. Oh yeah. I was so surprised when I found out that Dio was also, this dude. That's not official. I'm pretty sure. I kind of wish it was. Yeah, that's a pretty nice song. Okay. First off, I really wish I would have put this in the JoJo Jeffy YTP, because I could have put the Gangstar thing. Jeffrey, it's time for you to become a gangstar. Okay. What if... Oh, but you won't... You can't say you like the Jeff meme, Charmax, because you won't react to my Jeff YTPs. Anyways. Okay. Animating. Yes. Let's try that. I'm gonna ruin all my progress. Okay, that's probably important. But none of it is what I would like. Well, okay, this is stuff I like. But that, it's still... Oh, I'm gonna use that. But, how to, so... No, you know what? How to. Let's see if that garners different results. Okay. How I made it? No. So, I guess I'm never gonna find that video again then, huh? Fine, we'll, oh, that's... No, I'm not gonna watch a 51 minute. We'll watch a bit of it so that... We have to watch an ad. We have to wait for an ad. Wait for an ad. You can skip the ad.
Last time I talked about drawing fat.
Watch a second of it so that now it's in the history. And let's go back to the chat. So, why... Okay, sure. Oh, actually not that much happened here. Hello, Senior Toast Gaming. When will the next issue of Odyssey come out? At the end of this month. Each issue comes out at the end of the month, so... No, not next month. The end of the month. So, 6 days... 6 or so days from now. Next month. Wait. Oh, yeah, that... Well, it would be the day before May. That's how I operate. Is that's the end of the month, not the beginning. Okay, yeah. So, how long are we on for? Almost 3 hours. 8 minutes left. Let's do this. Yeah. So, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you think I could find it if I try hard enough? Close it. It's possible I watched it on a different channel. I don't think so. Oh, that's so neon, though. It's so aesthetic. Okay, there's a problem right there. Anyways, there was
So I've been looking through some old videos.
I watched that one. Oh. Anyways, that's interesting, but well, basically it was a video showing like this guy who made an animated trailer for a series that he was making, and it showed how he made the video. Was it in less than a month, or just he made it very quickly in a week? I don't think he did it in a week, but he did it. Short? Okay. How about how to animate quicker? That's terrible. Why would? But that looks terrible. Why would you teach me how to animate stuff? Maybe I'll do a Howard. What's new? Howard Wishes. Sure, let's do this one. Why not? It's not what I wanted. Sure. Make more animation drawings.
In this video, I'm going to share with you a lot of tips and tricks and practices that I've built up over time. These practices have allowed me to be quite productive with my time when I'm drawing and when I'm animating. I have more time to do other things like work on my YouTube channel and my business, and so I thought I would share some of these ideas with you today. This isn't a time management tutorial. I'm not interested in teaching how to suck all of the space out between tasks. That subject is very overdone, and I'm not talking about ways to make you spend more time drawing either. So it's not about putting more hours into the drawing. I'm actually talking about that time when you do sit down to draw, making sure that that time is being used effectively. My first advice, no warm-up drawings. Focus on the goal of the task at hand. Make every drawing count towards that goal. Maybe your first drawing won't be as good as the other ones that come after it, but at least make that first drawing count for something. A lot of people who do warm-up drawings, they'll just draw something that has no relevance to anything, and so it's a throwaway drawing that they can't really use for anything. They might post it on social media, but with that drawing you could have made a drawing that is relevant to your subject and posted it on social media and used it for your project. Let's say your project is an animation. Well, make some pre-production artwork instead of just drawing something random. Right. So the other thing I advise is to think about art in terms of value. What is the value of a drawing? Does it communicate something? That could make it valuable if it communicates something. Is it helping you to work something out? That is value if it helps you to do that. Does it clarify? Does it provoke? Does it inform? There are different ways you can...
This is giving me an idea. Not anything in particular, but just like the way this guy's being drawn, I don't know. When I looked at it at first, I thought that his back and his arm were legs, and that's giving me a cool position idea that I need to draw down. It's like writing it down, but not really.
Package artwork so that it's valuable. But seeing the value in a drawing will help you to reduce the amount of drawings which aren't valuable. You'll go towards what's valuable instead of just seeing a drawing as a drawing. Another way of looking at it could be that the drawing has purpose. It's for you to decide how important that purpose is. I think there's a better way of seeing drawings, instead of seeing them as just like each drawing has an equal status. That's not true. My other thing is about thinking. Drawing without thinking is also a waste of time. So you need to spend time thinking. Of course you should be thinking while you're drawing, but also before you're drawing, after you're drawing. Like in the spaces when you're not drawing, just take the time to think about what you're doing. then you're able to be more economic with your drawings because you put thought into each one. Of course, sometimes you need to draw in order to think, like drawing is your thinking process.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a weird one, but it's just something to think about. Like, thinking is really important for this. Document your process. Another part of making every drawing count, you can document your process, and that's a way to make each drawing count for more, and for everything you do in art to have extra value as like a byproduct. You can document your process, and that documentation has some value to it. So you can be like me, you can download OBS and record your screen while you're drawing, and then make that into something else. Maybe make it into, if you're releasing an animation, make a behind the scenes video for it as well. It's a little bit of extra work, but really it's a byproduct of something that you've already spent time making. You could also take screenshots at different points in the production process, and they can be used in social media. I don't typically do the whole screenshotting thing because stopping to take screenshots does take me out of the flow of making something, but it is an optional thing that you can do. Once you've made an animation, you can actually edit down the footage with something like Adobe Premiere and chop the footage into little micro content for social media platforms. It took you ages to make these animations, so you might as well get the maximum use out of them. Don't waste your time by not capitalizing on what you have already made. Finish your animations as well. Unfinished animations are a massive waste of potential. If the standard of the story and the standard of the main elements of the animation are fine, and all it needs is just a little bit more work to make it presentable, finish it. Because otherwise, all of that work that you put in to get to that stage isn't being appreciated by anyone, and that's wasted. Sometimes it's a much better choice to put time into working on something that's almost there instead of starting a new animation and leaving that one to gather dust. Don't reinvent the wheel. You should rarely need to start from nothing in a piece of artwork or an animation or in a drawing. In 99% of my YouTube thumbnails, I actually grab a sketch that I have already made and I edit it and improve it until it becomes a good thumbnail. Often these are from storyboard drafts that I didn't end up using, or other pieces of pre-production artwork. I don't throw away those pieces that I didn't end up using, I keep them. So this brings me to my next point, which is to save all of your unused drawings. I would save as much of it as possible. They can become useful later on. I recommend just having a document dedicated to throwing out drawings, where you can copy and paste drawings in. Maybe you had a whole sequence that you were going to include in your animation and you end up taking it out. There are some nice looking sketches in there, save them. It could be edited into a nice illustration later. If in one background you made a really nice field of grass, let's say, where you had painted individual blades and it looks great, the next time you need to paint a similar field of grass, just paste in the one you already had before. Tweak the colors a little bit, tweak the contrast, the lighting, and there you have a field of grass in much less time than if you had started from scratch. Ever since I learned basic photo manipulation skills in Photoshop, it has greatly helped me to be more efficient in the way I create visuals. So I highly recommend investing the time into learning basic photo manipulation skills. My next point is fail early whenever possible. The further ahead you get in the production process of an animation or in a piece of concept art or something, the longer it takes to make changes. So you really want to get the failures out the way first. Start off with thumbnail images which maybe take 5 minutes each. That way if you decide to throw one out at that stage, you've only lost 5 minutes of sketching time. You haven't lost like a half an hour speed paint before you got to the answer. So failing early is much more efficient than any late stage failures and U-turns. My next one is to just not be too proud to use reference. Use reference, guys.
Yeah, references
Develop
are good.
the sensibility, of course, for knowing what is
Sorry, I'm not
innocent
talking
use
too
of
much,
reference
but
and what is ripping something
now.
off. It's great if you can shoot your own reference whenever you can, and it's great
I
to do
technically use
on
that as a
location
reference,
reference. So if you need to draw a tiger, it would be
Still
great
good.
to actually go to a zoo and draw the tiger in real life. But of course sometimes we don't have access to these things, so almost everyone has access to Google Images. There are certain tricks to getting reference using Google Images that just make it a little bit better, increase the quality of your references. For example, if I'm looking for a certain forest, like let's say I need a reference for a bamboo forest, I know that if you type into Google Images bamboo forest, you'll get a bunch of images. Some of them will be high quality, some of them won't be. But if you type into Google Images bamboo forest photography, that extra keyword automatically raises the average standard of all the images you will see in Google Images. So putting photography on the end, that's a quick tip you have there. You can try that and experiment with other keywords as well, and you'll find tricks like that to getting better reference. Work in batches. Do a big batch of concept sketches, do a big batch of storyboards, do a big batch of rendering. One thing which can take up so much time in an animation production is switching between tasks. So just spend one big block of time doing one specific thing and doing a lot of it, and that will save you a lot of changeover time. You know, the kind of time when you have to close down a software and open up a new software. You can avoid that quite a lot by just batching your processes. With all of this stuff, you should be able to kind of get more bang for your buck with the time that you spend drawing. So what can you do with this extra spare time you've earned from this? Well, you can spend it doing whatever you want to do. If you're me, you will spend it doing more work and creating more cool things. Maybe you want to put this extra time you've earned towards learning a new skill, or maybe you want to start up a small business. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a few quick updates before you go. If you're submitting to the Animator Guild Community Showreel Challenge, today is your last day to enter. So
that thing. Yeah, I remember. I was gonna do something like that, but I decided not to. Anyways, so that's. Oh, you want to submit one? I should. You know how I said something about character sheets? Well, first off, I have a concept for like what Jakku's room will look like in the manga, or the webcomic, as well as like general character sheets. You know, different. Like I got the front view, front face view, 3/4, and then the profile shot, as well as like his body, and then a little. You can't really see it through the camera, but there's a little note there that reminds me that the left arm is the robotic one, not the right one, and also that it exists. And then right now, I just drew like a little thing. It's kind of like the way I interpret it is it's like a mid-air kind of pose, like he's being flung across, and so he's like turning around at what just threw him, and about to counter, so that he lands on his feet. But I think how long has it been? All right, yeah, about 3 hours. You should watch check on the video. No, because that doesn't have to do with the topic. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. There's only 3 people watching, so but hey, 17 likes. That's pretty good. Anyways, bye everyone. I'll probably do this again sometime soon. Maybe next Friday. We'll see. Anyways, see you later, Gators.